Ballpark after the rain pushed out yesterday. It is a slugging Sunday at Guaranteed Rate Field. The little ones enjoying a trip around the ballpark, and we are so glad to have people back in Guaranteed Rate Field. And here is the manager of the Kansas City Royals. His name is Mike Matheny. Tony La Russa managed him back in the day with the Cardinals, and Tony said it's not like a brotherly relationship. It's more like a father-son relationship, but it's odd to have to manage against his very close friend, Mike Matheny. And his starting lineup is brought to you by Insure on the Spot. Get your free auto insurance quote and save in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. This is career on-base percentage. The Royals have Merrifield a danger at the top, then Benintendi and Perez. Santana's an on-base machine. Soler and Dozier, Isbel, Taylor, and Nicky Lopez.
Dylan Cease going to the mound, and last year he was pretty good. ERA a tick over 4. What he has to do is try to limit his pitches, get some outs early in the count. You're hoping that this Kansas City team goes up very aggressive against him. That's what he used last time out. Four-seam fastballs, 48 of them, the slider 32. So between those two pitches, it made up the overwhelming majority of his pitches. The knuckle curve 9 times, changeup not so much. He's been working on the change, and we'll see how it plays out today. Our UI Health defense, and this is how Tony La Russa is going to put him out there the afternoon, with Andrew, Luis, and Leury in the outfield. Yohan, Danny, Nick, and Jose in the infield. Zach Collins has got the plate, bringing a pretty good bat with him, and Dylan Cease on the hill. Got to watch out for Merrifield. Nobody swings at more first pitches than he does. His slugging percentage is very good. He is really locked into a first ball fastball.
1121 was his slugging percentage on first pitches the last 2 years entering this series. I mean, that is a massive number. And there he is this year, the on-base percentage and the average right around one another, and slugging nearly 800 to open 2021. First pitch, high fastball. He's not going to swing at that one.
No, that's a way to stop him from hitting the first pitch. And last time we saw Merrifield, he was going 1 for 4. That was an innocuous base hit in the 8th inning, although it brought 2 men on base.
Whit Merrifield swings at the second pitch and pops it to right. Leury Garcia makes the catch. First pitch time was 1:10. First out time 1:11.
Love to see these Royals swinging early in the count, and if that happens, Dylan is fully capable of going into the 7th inning. Quite obviously, the bullpen is rested. A couple days off in a row will do that for you. The Lance Lynn gem, then the off day, and then the rain out.
It's amazing. We were just talking about it at the end of the road trip after that game with Seattle. You said it. The Sox open with 8 straight games without an off day, and not many teams do that in Major League Baseball nowadays. And it's like, wow, the bullpen's all stacked up, and now suddenly there will work for food signs in the bullpen. That was a breaking ball. It's 2-0 on Andrew Benintendi, who was 1 for 4 in the series opener. Foul ball on a fastball at 95 from Dylan Cease, former 6th-round pick out of high school in the state of Georgia.
Benintendi was a former 1st-round pick of the Red Sox, and they believed he was going to put up offensive numbers to support a corner man at Fenway Park. Didn't work out that way. The most home runs he ever hit was 20, although he's a good player.
Yeah, it was a little surprising, actually. There's a strike top of the zone. A little surprising that they, to me, dealt him as early as they did. He's still only 26 years old.
Yeah, I think the best is ahead of him, and he never drove in 100 runs for them.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good slider from Dylan Cease, and 2 gone in the first.
Quickly 2 up and 2 down, and now you have a man who swings at just about everything in Salvy Perez. So there's a slider, pretty good pitch, completely mystifying Benintendi.
That must have looked like a fastball to Benintendi.
Well, it had to, because he swung underneath it. You don't find guys swinging underneath sliders and missing them too often.
2 outs. Salvador Perez takes a breaking ball and a strike, and Dylan's got that little extra kick swivel thing going on that first pitch strike.
It's a little like Lucas when he's going well.
Left side. Moncada can't handle it. Would have been a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Cease.
When he went down to get it, he still had plenty of time, as Salvi doesn't run real well. You'd assume this would be E5.
It is E5. You think about the ramifications of that for Dylan Cease, who would have had himself a 9-pitch coast of a first inning.
Now you have to face a guy that very rarely swings early in the count, and you called him an on-base machine. That's exactly what Santana has been his entire career, and that's from both sides of the plate. So we'll see how many pitches this is going to cost Dylan Cease and see if it affects him as we move along today.
We talk about number of pitches, and that usually has a substantial impact on where your bullpen is the rest of the way for the game. Even more psychologically for Dylan Cease today. You're looking for one of those quick innings to help him out, and then suddenly you've got an extra base runner here as Santana sprays this ball foul.
The Royals signed Santana to a 2-year contract. We last saw him, and we saw him a lot because he was with Cleveland. He's largely been all over. He left to go to Philadelphia on a nice free agent contract before coming back into the American League, and now he feels pretty comfortable in the middle of this lineup every day.
Dropped in for a strike off speed from Dylan Cease.
It's nice to see that changeup early in the game because it gives the hitter something else to think of. He didn't throw too many last time out, but if you can pinpoint it, you're in good shape. I think he wanted to throw that away, but he got it inside. It still worked very effectively.
See what he picks here on 1 and 2 for Santana. It's a fastball, and it's spoiled foul. You know, it's a double hit essentially because of the error on Moncada. Not only does Cease have to face another batter, but he faces the guy in the Royals lineup who's most likely to take him deep in a count.
That's what Santana's done his entire career.
Tried to check his swing, and willpower not strong enough. Dylan Cease throws an extra 5 pitches to get rid of Santana. Sharp break. See you later. Sox swing it next. And time now for the Insure on the Spot starting lineup for Tony La Russa today. Get your free auto insurance quote and save in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. That's career on base percentage. Look at the 5 spot. Your mean Mercedes career on base percentage 552.
But that's deceiving because he's actually done better than that.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Wow.
Mike Minor, who about 80% of the time this year has started off with a slow breaking ball on the first pitch. We'll see how that works. Last season was not a particularly good year for him. He didn't pitch with a good baseball team, but all in all, 5.56 for an ERA is not much to write home about. Against the Rangers, he threw the slider 31 times, a 4-seamer 29 times, and the changeup and curveball. So he's a 4-pitch pitcher. He's going to try to use all quadrants, but he's going to try to off-speed you most of the time.
First chance this year for the Sox to wear the 1983 jerseys here at home, and it is such a wild coincidence that this happened today because yesterday, April 10th, 1981 was the anniversary of Carlton Fisk's White Sox debut. April 10th, 1980 was Harold Baines' Major League debut. And the last time in 1983 the White Sox wore this jersey at home, Carlton Fisk and Harold Baines were hitting in the first inning in the playoffs against the Baltimore Orioles with Tony La Russa managing.
Here's a good look at Harold sporting this uni. Carlton Fisk got a chance to pitch to him just one time in the All-Star game.
Strike 3. Minor had Leury Garcia off balance with a curveball.
Let's take a look at the UI Health defense, and this is how Mike Matheny is going to put them out there this afternoon with Benintendi, Taylor, and Isbell in the outfield. Dozier, Lopez, Merrifield, and Santana in the infield with Salvi Perez behind the plate. And Mike Minor, author of a first hitter strikeout, the opposing hurler.
He is a left-hander, which means danger Will Robinson for Kansas City as Luis Robert hits this ball in the air to left field, and Andrew Benintendi. Pretty windy day here at the ballpark, and 2 out in the first.
Well, outfielders will tell you whether it's a good center fielder or a real good defender on the corners. You play the outfield partially with your ears. You're listening to the sound of the bat, knowing which way to break, and also you're looking at the swing. When you have a guy with a big swing, your tendency is to move back. Benintendi did, but that one floated out and had to come in a few steps.
The official wind at first pitch time was north-northeast at 6, but it felt windier coming into the ballpark, and it's sort of cutting through Guaranteed Rate Field as it stands right now.
Well, how it's affecting things this inning doesn't mean how it will affect it next inning because of the swirling nature of these winds. But that ball was batted down in left field somewhat.
First pitch fastball to Abreu from Minor, and now he throws a slider. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jose, who's on 200 home runs, trying to track down Carlton Fisk. Oh, how about that? 1983 total bases for Jose Abreu on this, the first day wearing the 1983 jerseys with Tony La Russa as the manager. And this is a 1984 total base. Jose Abreu goes to the Ministry of Bat Love for a single down the right field line.
Well, his hands are still singing to him because he didn't get that one on a good part of the bat. So Minor throws a cutter, and Jose hits it just above his hands that are still ringing. But he brings the hands in, does a great job of the inside out swing. He can do that very well. And this is how you're among the league's best hitters. Forget sluggers. He certainly is one of those, but he's becoming one of the better hitters around with a pretty good idea about what to do with each and every pitch.
That wasn't a strike.
Nope. It looked like it when he left his hand, though.
Yoan Moncada into the atmosphere. Couple of first pitch flyouts and a single, and we're 1 inning deep. We got so much more for you. Inning at Guaranteed Rate Field, the opening weekend. Bunting is out, and time now for a player profile presented by Geico. Make it easy. This is Dylan Cease against the Royals last year.
Dylan Cease was awfully good. The ERA a tick over 3.5. You look at the rest of the numbers. The thing he wants to work on is the walks. But opponent's batting average of 182 will get you a couple of wins with no defeats.
First pitch fouled away, and the second inning is brought to you by Menards. See by the little green square up in the top of your screen, the recognizable logo.
I can see it perfectly.
I like their old commercials with the Save Big Money guy. There's another foul ball from Soler, who will swing. He'll go up there and get his money's worth.
Right now, Dylan Cease looks like he's got a little extra life on the fastball because guys are swinging under that fastball, fouling it straight back.
You mean life movement wise?
Movement, yes. Not velocity, but movement.
Breaking ball. Soler laid off. 1-2. Sox come in at 4-4, a game back of Minnesota in the AL Central. Soler wanted to hold up, and that wasn't going to happen. That looked a lot like Santana's strike 3 in the first.
Dylan's stuff this afternoon is very good. This is a non-readable slider. It looked good coming out of his hands. You can tell the spin, but Soler was mystified. I mean, he started his bat, no way that he could check it up, and nice stop by Collins behind the plate. Normally that one skids and gets by you. So 3 strikeouts early.
3 strikeouts in his first start, 3 already today for Dylan Cease. And by the way, those strikeouts with the half swing, our friend Pitching Ninja refers to as swords. And with how many Dylan Cease has had already, he could start his own fencing competition.
They're not reading it quite yet.
That's a 1-hopper.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Dylan has to work on, and that is you need a get me over curveball. If you're going to call a curveball first pitch, hitters don't like to swing at curveballs first pitch. So you need one that you can throw over the plate consistently. It's usually softer than your others. You usually take it back in your hand a bit more. Right now he's just feeling the way for that. But when he gets that, he's going to be doubly tough.
Why do you take it back in your hand?
Because the further the ball is back in your hand, the slower it gets. So you can actually work on the same arm velocity and choke the ball, is what they call it, and it comes out slower. You can make a curveball 2 or 3 pitches if you want to, by where you put it in your hand.
High fastball sending Dozier away from the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. Hunter Dozier still hitless this year. He's got a walk, 4 strikeouts. He's 0 for 11. Upstairs, ball 4, and that's the maddening yin and yang of Dylan Cease there. You were talking about the curveball, Steve.
Yeah.
You got a baseball in your hand. Show us what you're talking about.
I do. So everybody holds it a different way. Some guys like a 4-seam curveball. That's pretty much here, and it rotates like that. But if you hold it out on your fingers, you can see a little room between the ball and my hand. That's the faster of the curveballs. You just move it in, just maybe 1 revolution in, and now you have no space in your hand, and that's a slower curveball that's easier to get over the plate. The slower the curveball, the easier it is to get over the plate, and I like Collins coming out to talk with Cease. But you have to be not a veteran pitcher. You just have to have a lot of innings under your belt in the major leagues before you're able to move the ball up and back in your hand and use different finger pressures. That goes for veteran pitchers right now. Dylan is just starting to get his feet wet in the major leagues. He's worried about getting pitches over the plate, not necessarily where they fit in his hand.
We've officially peeled back the curtain, by the way, for this season. Joe Grube with the sweep of the curtain at the last moment to hide your bag. It's very nice.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, it was.
What a great thing.
Deft. 2-0. That's in for a strike. So when did it click for you? How many innings? I know you didn't count up the innings, right? But approximately when did you feel like you had control of the ball to manipulate it like that?
Oh, it took 3 or 4 years in the major leagues to really get a good idea about what to do with the baseball, and even then you don't have it refined.
2-1. That was a fastball buzzing in. 2-2 on Isbell, who's 0 for his last 12.
Talked about it a lot, but the best I've ever seen at manipulating the ball and different finger pressures was Greg Maddux.
Yep.
And he got better as he moved along. It found him in Cooperstown after 355 wins, but he was the best I'd ever seen.
Two, and we have a balk.
Well, it sounded like somebody yelled out at Dylan
Time.
Cease to a timeout. It sounded like somebody said timeout, and Dylan got a bit confused on the mound.
Yeah, if we can play back the audio on that, there's a breaking ball. It sounded like somebody yelled time.
Yeah.
Listen in here. Yeah, there were 2 words that got said. Strike 3 on a slider. 4th strikeout for Cease.
The stuff today is just really good for Dylan Cease. I mean, everything has late movement. You don't expect a guy that can throw in the upper 90s to drop this hook on you early, but you're looking for anything else but this. It shaves off the inside corner. Well caught by Zach Collins, well called by Todd Tishner, and well thrown by Dylan Cease.
That was a 3-2 slider,
Yep.
by the way. You know, it's really interesting about this season. It's the first season where we have 20% crowds, whatever it looks like, depending on the ballpark you're in. That balk probably does not happen last year, and it probably doesn't happen next year.
So you can pick up individual voices in this crowd.
Two balls, no strikes. Change up that time for Michael A. Taylor, who had a home run in each of his first 2 games this year. He's got 9 hits and 23 at bats so far. Dozier at second, and ball 3 on Taylor.
Got to be very careful on 3-0 because with Lopez in the on-deck circle, Mike Matheny might just give a home run hitting Taylor the 3-0 green light.
Oh, he swung through it.
Good pitch on the outside corner, and he did indeed get the 3-0 green light.
Tipped into the glove. Fastball at 96 upstairs and a throw to second base. They got Dozier. Oh my goodness. On a 3-ball count with 2 out, he gets plucked from second base by an aware Zach Collins. Steve, oh boy.
I'm not sure where Dozier was going. He was actually thinking that was ball 4, and he was trotting to third base. Then he's hung out to dry. Hunter Dozier had a brain cramp. Now watch this. He thinks it's strike 3 and it's inning over because he's just going to trot to his position at third base. A couple of problems there. Number 1, the inning isn't over. It was only strike 2, and so he gets whacked on the head and taken off base.
Odd way to end an inning as Yermin Mercedes stands in against Mike Minor. And a first pitch ball 1 to Mercedes, and the Sox fans will protect him at all costs from now on.
I was talking about it yesterday, and I think that's the next spot they're going to go get him, is see if they can jam him, because he's hitting just about everything else.
You saw his red batting gloves today. Those are new batting gloves from day 1 of the season for him. You know how I know? The batting gloves that he was wearing for his first game this year are on their way to Cooperstown right now. No joke. His batting gloves are going to the Hall of Fame.
That's kind of nice.
Took a rip at a changeup. 2-1 from Minor.
You're already shading him as a dead pull hitter. You got Merrifield on the third base side of second, but he's out on the outfield grass, knowing that Yermin doesn't run very well. Outfield, however, is dead straight away.
Two and one on Mercedes from Minor. Well, back bend, 3-1. There are Sox fans right now, based on the sound of the crowd, that would very willingly be the security guard for Yermin Mercedes for the rest of their lives.
He's going to see a lot of inside fastballs.
That's a strike call, top of the zone, 3-2. He pretended that he was just doing some landscaping.
Yeah, this one had the zone. Although Perez wants it inside, it's got the whole plate on the outside corner and up.
Inside, ball 4. Mercedes pinwheels the bat, and he's on to lead off the second.
They're not going to let you hit over 500 in this league without trying all the soft spots. Where can they go? Is there a point where he's going to start missing pitches? I like the fact that he laid off of just about everything in that at bat and was willing to take a walk.
Isn't it amazing? A week and a couple days into his first season in the major leagues, now you have a veteran pitcher in Mike Minor trying to use a specific part of the zone to get him out.
They're having to game plan around Yermin Mercedes, which is something you didn't believe that you would say in spring training.
He was the only guy at points, and his family too, who believed that this would be possible. Jake Mintz, our friend who works for Fox Sports, did a story on Mercedes that posted today that included a couple things that I thought were really interesting about Mercedes. But one of his former coaches said he's always believed he's Johnny Bench. Even when he was in the very low levels of baseball, he thought he was going to be a major league catcher and a major league player and a star at that.
Well, certainly the bat plays, and the bat's going to continue to play as long as it stays where it is. Unrealistic to assume that you can be quite this hot, but you know, taking your walks when guys aren't throwing you strikes is part of being a good hitter.
To Andrew Vaughn, a 1-1 that's up and out, 2 balls and a strike. And coming into today, Steve, little did we think we would say this as well, and a credit to Frank Menechino and Howie Clark. The Sox were second in baseball in walks entering play today.
That's pretty unusual for the Sox of any era, except maybe the Go-Go Sox of '59. But other than that, I mean, in this ballpark especially, this has been a swinging group of White Sox.
Three and one, Mike Minor to Andrew Vaughn, just 23 years old, first round pick a couple of years ago. He was loading up for the fastball, on a pretty good spot for it, top of the zone.
He got his fastball, just didn't get it where he wanted it.
Do 3-2 for Vaughn, and a throw on Mercedes at first. He's now a base stealing threat.
Yeah, apparently the scouting report is out. The golden wheels of your mean Mercedes have to be respected.
If he steals like 5 or 6 bags, somebody's going to make a car with golden wheels.
Still have to watch out for the pickoff move.
He's trying to draw Minor's attention. He leaned back toward first, and Minor misses downstairs. 2 on with payoff pitch walks for the Sox. Time now for the big story, presented by Mattress Firm. It's White Sox home run hitting. When the Sox hit a home run last year and this year, it's good news, Steve.
And unfortunately, when they don't, things don't go very well. But 3 runs per game difference when they hit the ball out of the ballpark. This is a team, even in the absence of Tim Anderson and Eloy Jimenez, this is a team that thrives on hitting home runs. And they drive in a lot of their runs while doing it, and they're very successful when they do it.
It'll be interesting to see how Minor pitches Zach Collins here. What do you think he'll do?
Well, the shift is on so that they're expecting him to try to pull the ball. But Zach Collins has gone to left and left center this year. And with that in mind, perhaps, they're moving Lopez back now behind Mercedes at second.
As you were saying that was happening as Zach swings through a first pitch fastball. Mercedes at second, Vaughn at first. Missed it off the plate outside, a breaking ball from Minor. He throws more sliders than fastballs, typically.
He doesn't have a bad fastball, but he's always been known as a breaking ball pitcher. That would be especially true to the left-hand hitters.
That's high. 2 balls and a strike on a fastball for Collins. Sox have been very patient in this inning with the left-hander, the 33-year-old Mike Minor.
Cal Eldred, the pitching coach, is probably loosening up his legs because he's not going to let him go too much farther without going to the mound.
Former White Sox great Cal Eldred.
He's a good pitcher.
I like Cal a lot.
He's got a lot of good pensmen to work with in Kansas City. The question mark is the starting rotation.
Two and two from Minor. Collins fouls it away. Cal Eldred played 14 years in Major League Baseball.
That's a good run.
This will not shock you. He ended His playing career with the Cardinals, his manager was Tony La Russa. You don't need 6 degrees in baseball for Tony La Russa.
No.
You need a degree and a hook, maybe. 2-2. Struck him out inside with a breaking ball. Second strikeout for Minor. And your 2021 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. Learn how you can turn your belief in a new home into action at rate.com. If you believe, you will. And to get priority ticket access this season, secure a ticket package by visiting whitesox.com today.
Isbell in right and Taylor in center have both moved in a couple of steps. Taylor's got a pretty big arm in center field, so that's going to be tough to score on a base hit that way.
Even with the golden wheels at second.
Yep.
Madrigal fouls it off his body.
Took a good healthy cut at that one. Guessing breaking ball all the way. He got it and fouled it off. Now he inquires of Todd Tishner if that was a strike. I'm sure he answered in the affirmative. That was a pretty good pitch.
Downstairs, blocked by Salvador Perez. 1-1 on Madrigal, but Minor is working up toward 30 pitches after a very short 9-pitch first inning.
Nice stop by Perez behind the plate. That one gets away. You're out of the double play situation. You got 2 men in scoring position. He's a big man with pretty good mobility behind the plate.
Even with all the knee trouble he's had Tommy John surgery.
He's had a bunch, and the injuries are starting to pile up. But he still can do it defensively to go with that big power.
Madrigal foul right hand side. Salvador Perez a couple of years ago, 2018, he got hurt right before opening day. He was moving boxes in his house and hurt his knee. Second time he's had a major knee injury. Then the Tommy John surgery 2019. That's why you hire movers.
That's exactly why you do that.
Right? He's got the money for it.
I would think so at this point.
1-2. Grounded foul, first base side.
Santana is well off the line at first base. We've seen Nick go down that way to great success.
Minor knocks it down, finds it, and won't get a double play. He's not going to get any outs. Oh my goodness. That is not a juggling act you'd want at your kid's birthday party. The bases are loaded.
Well, it's going to go E1, and anytime pitchers decide to make that lazy toss to a base, they invite making a bad throw. Now he knows he's only got 1 out, and he makes a flat-footed throw, and not too good. It is E1. It should have been a double play.
He kind of dropped down here, didn't he, a little bit?
He was making a very casual toss to first. It took Santana off the bag. Well, we've seen a lot of bad fielding from pitchers in the early going this year.
Yeah, the whole first week of the season has been rife with bad defense. And now Danny Mendick, suddenly the crowd swells with the bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch, strike to Danny, who was outstanding in his home debut this year. That was Thursday. He was 3 for 3 with a walk.
Well, here's a situation where good teams come back to, if not bury you early, they make it a little uncomfortable because Minor opened the door. Let's see if the Sox can storm through it and put some up on the board.
Breaking ball 0-2 on Danny Mendick with Leury Garcia next. Two strikes for Danny. the plate outside of fastball. Every team has said it this year, one player or another or a manager, that the feel at home is totally different this season in the ballpark, and players and coaches and managers alike have been charged up by 8,000 in home games this season. At strike three, he went upstairs with a fastball, and 2 down in the Sox second.
Not many strikes thrown to Danny Mendick in this at bat. He expands that zone and goes down on strikes.
So it's up to Leury Garcia, who struck out on 4 in the first inning. Ball 1 to Garcia, came well inside. Sox right now are tied for the major league lead with 5 bases loaded hits this year, and you know 2 of them are Abreu grand slams. Sox are the only team with multiple grand slams in Major League Baseball. I bet that doesn't shock many people, considering we're only what, 8 games into the year for most teams. One and one. That was a slider. There's Jose Abreu, who would love a chance in this inning, and if he gets a chance in the second, the Sox are going to have a lead for sure.
If he gets a chance, it probably will be a substantial lead.
Couldn't be any worse than 2-0.
No.
Mercedes coming down the line at third. Now he stops as Garcia takes inside, and Yermin had frozen his movement. He was coming toward the line, then as the pitch came, he slowed to a stop and then leaned back toward the bag, and he didn't have enough forward momentum.
Well, if you've got one of your better base runners, one of your faster base runners, he's probably going to score on this. Salvi's got 5 gold gloves to his credit for stopping pitches like this and making sure there's no advancement. But you have to be an aggressive base runner. You have to take your lead in foul territory. You have to be coming toward the plate, and then no hesitation whatsoever to beat that play.
Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. Does Minor have a bases loaded walk for the ultra aggressive Leury Garcia?
Fans here doing what they can to try to will this team to at least plate 1.
3-1 coming. Popped foul, 3-2.
He went to a changeup, although that one wasn't the real good one. He just wanted to throw a strike with it. It was 4 miles an hour slower than his fastball, and he got the pitch in the zone.
See where Minor's stamina is. He is 32 pitches into this inning.
Well, he loves sliders. Let's see if he tries to bury one down and in to Leury. That would be tough to lay off of.
3-2, bases loaded. Garcia gets a piece of it on a slider.
Went to his comfort pitch, only that one he tried to keep away from him.
So the question you're asking yourself is, Leury Garcia, is he in swing mode?
Usually that's the answer, yes. However, he seems to be seeing it pretty well. He got him on a slider down and in the first time in the first inning.
Fans were saying, Mike, we're building drama. How dare you pause it? It's 2-3-2, bases loaded, 2 out, and time called again.
Well, look, Salvi Perez is running out of fingers, so eventually Minor's going to have to throw one that he likes. He's given him every sign he's got. Everything but taking off the catcher's mitt and putting 2 hands down there to go to alternate fingers.
Or a yield sign out of his back pocket.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3-2. Up the middle to second base. Merrifield for out number 3. We'll go to the third.
High-speed action, and I'm craving White Castle because it's Slider City here at the ballpark. He's thrown 10. They've missed 3. Yeah, right now he's slidering their faces off.
You almost got a spit take out of me on that. You're doing a replay. I figure I can take a drink of water. Bad idea. Strike 1 on Michael Taylor, who unceremoniously had the bat ripped from his hands by the fickle baseball gods.
Well, now we get to see a whole lot of pitches because he saw a bunch of them when he was up there before Dozier got picked off.
Where was that?
It was a pretty good pitch, and he didn't get it.
I asked you a question. You didn't answer my question. Where was it?
Well,
it's because you don't have one.
No, but I will tell you.
You can tell me. This will be caught.
No, I have to wait. Officially caught.
Okay, there it is.
I don't want to get in the way of your award-winning play-by-play.
Oh,
that
yes.
would be horrible. Ah,
you're going to submit the inning for an award?
Promo.
Okay.
Yeah. Tonight on NBC Sports Chicago, the Bulls continue to try and climb the standings as they take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Jason Goff and Kendall Gill on Bulls pregame live. You know, it's ironic. I had a nice conversation with Chuck Swirsky yesterday.
Oh.
And he's doing great. He's very positive about the playoffs. And now we show a Bulls promo. Coincidence? I think not.
And then it happens during a baseball game the day after the story broke that it looks like Alex Rodriguez is going to buy the Timberwolves or be part of a group that's buying the Timberwolves.
Well, how about that?
We're full of synergy here at NBC Sports Chicago. Oh, no go. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, the third inning is brought to you by Hyundai. Now we can really submit the play-by-play for the third. It had a live read.
This will get it.
You got any statue polish over there? Lopez pops it up. Got any stories? This will be up there for a while.
Not quite yet. Hold on. He made the play.
2 down here in the third.
Well, so far the stuff of Dylan Cease is really good today, and he's trying to get through the third inning. He's only got 39 pitches. That's one of the keys early, is keeping his pitch count within reason so he can go deeper in the game, because the stuff is always there. Just a question of falling behind or having those 10, 11, 12 pitch at bats.
Second time through the order begins with a curveball for Whit Merrifield. Strike 1.
That was a better get me over breaking ball because there's nobody going to swing at that. Even Merrifield, who's a notorious first ball hitter.
And now he goes slider. Sharper breaking ball. 0-2.
You'd like to see this one a meaningful pitch. Don't miss just to miss. Maybe a little slider on the outside corner, just off the corner.
Caught a bunch of the plate, and it's a base hit for Merrifield to right. That had too much a home. First hit for Kansas City comes in the third.
We'll take another look at a slider. Right idea. Good piece of hitting. I mean, this is not a bad pitch. And Merrifield, who is one of the better hitters around, start off very hot this year, gets his second hit of the series.
Upon replay, that caught less of the plate than I thought initially.
No, that was a good
not
pitch.
A bad, yeah.
That was a good pitch.
Problem is, the plate coverage of Merrifield means that you got to make a really good pitch.
Yeah, he's one of the better guys around.
So Benintendi gets a cannon shot at 96. Sox will play Cleveland tomorrow And the Tribe is up 2-1 in the 6th inning against Detroit. They'll be coming from Cleveland.
We've got Triston McKenzie going tomorrow night, I believe.
Indeed.
And then the Bieber. They're leaving it to the Bieber on when? Second game of the series?
Tuesday, Bieber against Giolito.
That's quite a matchup.
Ooh, baby.
Certainly like to be out here for that one, folks, because you got the defending Cy Young Award winner, if you can defend that, and you have a prospective Cy Young Award winner going head to head. That one is a great matchup.
Thursday, Lance Lynn on getaway day.
Gotta love that.
If he's anything like Thursday, you're going to really love it. There's a fastball in on Benintendi. Cleveland, you would imagine as Cleveland comes in here tomorrow, the pitching is going to be ahead of the offense. It's going to be possibly an offensively challenged team more than pitching challenge this year.
I mean, they're trying to find out what their identity is going to be. They don't know yet how much offense they're going to have.
Check swing. Didn't go. 2-1 for Benintendi, who was originally drafted by his hometown team in the 31st round. Cincinnati took him out of Madera High School in the Queen City of Ohio. He did not sign. He knew he was going to go to college, so he went to Arkansas, where he became a Golden Spikes winner like Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Benintendi, he was phenomenal at Arkansas.
The White Sox had their eye on him. There was a lot of teams had their eye on him. The White Sox were thinking about how he would fit into the outfield when he was coming out, but Boston beat him to the pick.
Benintendi serves this ball into foul territory and out of play. This is a geography tester, but Benintendi was asked about going to Kansas City, and he mentioned, you know, following the Royals while he was in college at Arkansas. Fayetteville's actually only about 3 hours away from Kansas City.
He's just trying to realize the power potential he's had. Now you got to keep your eye at first base, because this is a good pitch to run for Merrifield.
There he goes. Inside, throw to second by Zach is a good one. Oh, he almost had him. Merrifield steals second base. Good effort from Zach Collins.
It was a very good throw. And what's on the mind of Mike Matheny, the manager, is you send your base stealer. Merrifield is one of those. If he gets thrown out, you buy another at bat for Benintendi. If he doesn't, most likely he's going to be successful at second. This is a good throw. He just got maybe an extra step on the jump. Dylan might have wanted to go over there another time or two, but he is in rather easily, even with a good throw.
Now the question is, did he pull his hand off the bag? At the tail end of that replay, it looked like he might have pulled his hand off the bag. Tony La Russa and Brian Johnson, Mike Kosierski, the White Sox video crew, they're going to challenge this.
They think he did.
Yep.
So watch it. So he is safe, but let's see.
Does he ever pull the hand off the bag? Right there, does the hand come off the bag at the tail end of the play while the knee is not on the bag? Now the question is, did he exchange positions, hand to knee? Now there.
Well, the good thing is you have to keep the tag on in this day and age of replay. You just keep the tag on until the play is completely over. There is no doubt that he came off the bag. The question is, can you see it definitively on the replay?
Right. Well, and a lot of baseball fans, this drives them crazy because it's one frame. If you come off the bag, you're out. A lot of people want replay to go away for this type of play. What do you think?
I think you just got to get it right.
I agree with you.
You can turn around a game, and you know, I'm all for making a certain amount of time, and if you can't get it done in that time, then the play stands. And I think maybe we'll get to that in replay before too long. Last year they did a much better job of speeding up replays, and there weren't a whole lot of disturbances in the game. But if we start to get too long, then yes, then it doesn't do anybody all that much good.
We're going to sync up the two time codes here and see if we can see if Merrifield comes off the bag. And Merrifield's out.
He came off the bag.
Yep. Good challenge by the White Sox. Royals fans are going to be petitioning the league to change the replay review rules, as many have. Zach Collins gets a caught stealing. Third inning, and the White Sox wearing the 1983 jerseys, which Tony La Russa wore back in the day when he managed the 1983 White Sox. Tony was the AL Manager of the Year. Ron Kittle was hitting baseballs onto the roof. Lamar Hoyt won the Cy Young. 83 All-Star game at Comiskey as well, and a great year for the White Sox rotation. I mean, those are ridiculous numbers. And there is Tony La Russa then and now.
Hasn't changed a bit. Still's got the same uniform.
The mask is different.
It is.
Yeah. Luis Robert charges this ball up in the air, left center field, and it is off the wall. Luis Robert, an ambush of Minor, and a stand-up double. He anchors himself on the bag to lead off the third.
Well, Luis thought that was out of the ballpark, and he didn't appear to be going as hard as he could around first base. However, he crushes this slider. Normally, when he hits them like this, they go out of the ballpark. He thought this was a 1-0 lead. Thought this was home run number 2. Didn't work out that way. Hit off the wall and bounded back.
I'm just glad there was somebody in a Burley jersey and not just an authenticator waiting for it to land. That's still new for 2021 as Luis Robert is on base for every game this year. And here's the MVP chant again. Might need to sync their time codes a little bit on the cheer. Strike one on Jose Abreu, who plopped a base hit to right in the first.
Outfield is deep all the way around, and so on a base hit, Luis is going to score rather easily unless it's a one-hop rocket, and even then it's going to be tough to throw him out at the plate. Joe McEwing has proven to be a very aggressive third base coach. He is going to err on the side of throwing him if there's any doubt. Make him throw him out.
Yeah, Joe McEwing, Don Quixote is tilting at him on the third base side. In the dirt, Perez blocks it again, 1-1. The Royals have been on the fringe for the last bunch of batters of the Sox scoring the first run of this ball game.
Well, that was a good stop by Perez. That moves Robert to third, where it's pretty easy to score him for one of baseball's most prolific run producers.
Jose takes a strike, nicely planted at 92, 1-2. Chilly day at the ballpark as the homestand continues Monday through Thursday against the Cleveland Indians for the first time this year. Jose takes down again. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and very clearly the White Sox have become a more patient ball club.
Well, if you're seeing the ball real well as a hitter, you can be patient. And I think all things being equal, they're looking middle in against Minor, who throws so many sliders to right-hand hitters.
The echo of MVP on 2-2 for Abreu, who shanks it foul first base side.
That's the kind of swing of a guy that has pretty much looked middle in and just reacting to the ball middle away. Minor's fooled a lot of the Sox hitters with fastballs away at 92. That's because the scouting report was he's going to go inside with his fastball, but he's going to throw most of his sliders inside.
Off the plate, 3-2.
Patience on the part of Jose. That one was tantalizingly close. It looked like a changeup away. Might have tried the backdoor slider away.
It's a fourth full count of Minor's day, and it's batter number 12. 50 pitches as Yoan is next. 3-2. Minor to Abreu. Jose fouls it away right side.
There's a fastball in the outside corner. Jose with a good job of coverage.
Sox are trying to win their 18th straight game against a left-handed starter. And a bundle of those have come against Kansas City, and Danny Duffy and Chris Bubich. Minor trying to avoid showing up on that list that would tie the Braves from 04 and 05. And now Salvador Perez goes out to the mound. Test your luck during every home and away White Sox game this year. The 50-50 raffle Sox Split presented by Wintrust, on sale now until the end of the 7th inning. Get your Split the Pot 50-50 tickets at whitesox.com/Sox Split. Valid for Illinois residents 18 and over.
One of the things you don't see a lot of, Merrifield is back on the grass. Usually you'll see an infielder on the grass to the pull side. Very rarely will you see him on the grass as an opposite field hitter.
It's kind of milling around.
Yep.
3-2 from Minor. Jose hits it right to Merrifield. I mean, right to him. And Robert to third.
Well, they certainly played him in the right place. As this ball hits off the mound, he is on the dirt by this point because it's an easy one hopper. However, that's the first run of the ball game. 90 feet away against a pitcher who's throwing a lot of those sliders in the dirt.
Mike Matheny is going to play the infield in what he must believe is going to be a low-scoring game today. Moncada, a foul ball and a fastball. Mentioned the Braves have won in 04 and 05, had won 18 straight against left-handed starters. That includes Tom Glavine, Al Leiter, Wilson Alvarez, Kazuhisa Ishii of the Dodgers. David Wells was on their list. And if the Sox were to tie that record, they would do it against Mike Minor, who played at Vanderbilt in college. And if you've watched Vandy at all this year, Al Leiter's dear family member, Jack, is really winging it for the Vandy boys. As it's 2 balls and a strike.
Aren't they talking about him being a possible 1-1 this year in the draft?
Oh, yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, he's got ridiculous stuff. You feel old with Al Leiter's son possibly being a 1-1?
Nah, I feel old anyway.
Well, you don't look it. Moncada pops it up on the infield. 2 gone. Jack Leiter recently threw a no-hitter at Vanderbilt. And watch the stuff.
The payoff.
Fastball at the knees at 94. Probably 120 pitches, a little more than you're going to see in his major league career, but that was 2 out. And then that's strike 3. That's the fastball from Jack Leiter. How about that?
Vandy's got a pretty good program.
Oh, yeah.
And they can churn out the pitchers.
David Price, Walker Buehler. Minor was an 09 draft pick out of Vanderbilt. As there is a strike on Yermin Mercedes. Here are some of the names that have come through there. Sonny Gray included. Carson Fulmer, former White Sox draft pick, who just never has really put it together. He's bounced around a lot. But there are a lot of guys with really good stuff out of Vanderbilt. Mercedes to third. Dozier is on it, and Dozier's on target. to end the inning. Leadoff double, nothing there. No score after 3.
Here, and welcome to Sox Math. It's the first home weekend game of the year, so let's sit back, relax, and strap it down for another White Sox winner.
It's your Sox Math question today. Thank you to Riles23 for the video. Number of letters in the last name of the Sox player with the first ever Sox home run against the Royals, multiplied by the number of letters in the last name of the player with the first Sox complete game against the Royals. It's history.
It is.
Yeah, Royals first around just before 1970. After the A's shipped out, Andrew Benintendi checks his swing. He did go 0-2 in the 4th inning. Is brought to you by Elk Grove Village. See how we can help your business grow at makerswanted.org.
With the overturn of the call at second, Benintendi, like Taylor before him, gets to see a whole lot of pitches and 2 at-bats. Only going to count as 1, but it's technically 2 at-bats.
But in the annals of his mental history, you'll never take those pitches away from him.
You can't. By the way, over the 2 days, do you have a chance to rest your vocal cords so that you're primed and ready to go?
Yes. Hello. Yes.
Good.
Thank you for asking. 1-2, just missed on a slider. 2-2. Change up. He laid off. 3-2. By the way, nice shirt from Riles23 there. Baseball needs more Tim Andersons. Good stuff.
Yeah, only if they all play for the White Sox.
Yeah.
We don't want him spread around the league. He's too good.
3-2 is in. It's ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Benintendi, who is down in the count.
Follow our Sox insider Vinny Duber at NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
Took a while to sync up.
We're a little rusty.
Sounded like the Proclaimers.
When we get a day off, we get to come up to your place and work on that.
What? You think I have like a studio?
Yeah, of course.
It's not called a studio apartment because you have singing rehearsal in it. Ball 1 to Salvi Perez, who reached on an error in the first.
Now you got a great opportunity to turn a pair. Perez very rarely will take a walk. He swings at just about everything. And if he hits a ground ball, it's going to be hard for him to beat out the relay throw.
Got a strike there, 1-1. So if you're Dylan and you're hunting that ground ball, how are you going to get it with your stuff?
Well, a high fastball wouldn't be the pitch I would recommend, but a slider, a curveball, slider middle out. Usually Salvi tries to pull it. So there is the slider. Let's see if he gets it middle out. And if he does, he'll pull it to the left side.
He missed it, 1-2.
That was the bigger breaking slider than we've seen. So he's got 2 distinct different breaks. One really explodes, as that one did. The other is a subtle break, about 2 or 3 inches, that pretty much slides across. So Zach Collins looking over in the dugout to see what they might want there. There's the fastball. Let's see where he throws it.
Sprayed foul. He was testing the outside. We see that from Salvador Perez. That is Chris Davis like. Remember Chris Davis kept hitting 247.
He also would hit almost the same amount of home runs each and every year, and it was always, or seemingly always, in the 40s.
Runner goes, foul ball. Benintendi has to go back to first.
Mike Matheny trying to stay out of the double play. Puts Benintendi into motion. Salvi will swing at just about anything.
To third, Moncada and Madrigal. Tough to handle. Nick got it there. Double play.
There's your 5-4-3, and that wasn't an easy one. It's on the long hop to Moncada. He's got to wait for gravity. Finally getting it, and a nice job by Nick. That was not an easy ball to handle from Madrigal. He was able to make this turn, and it didn't hurt that Salvi was running.
That is very nice for Dylan Cease's longevity in this game. First pitch changeup downstairs, ball 1 to Santana.
I really like the mix that Zach Collins is calling today because he's making Dylan throw all of his pitches and using different locations for each and every one. We're seeing a little more life on the fastball. We're seeing it at 97-98. But when he gets it upstairs, which he's been doing, it has that carry. He's getting more backspin on the fastball these days. Consequently, instead of squaring up on a high fastball, mostly lefties are going to swing under it and foul it back. Time now for Allstate good hands play, and what better way to show you good hands than the play of Madrigal at second base on the double play. This is a really good effort by Nick, turning this 2.
Outside 2-2. Yeah, Nick Madrigal was a better defender and is a better defender than we've seen early in his White Sox career. There have been some notable plays that he'd want back, but he in college was an extremely talented second baseman. 3-2.
And Nick's going to be a top flight second baseman before it's over. He just has to settle down, realizing that if you've always been really good defensively, there's no reason not to be good defensively now. The game moves a little more quickly, but when you can do it with the glove, you're always going to be able to do it.
Three and 2 from Cease. Check swing. Didn't go.
It looked like
that was a strike
anyway.
anyway.
Like a strike to begin with.
I mean,
yeah, Todd Tichenor is not calling the ball down, and this looked like a pinpoint slider in a perfect spot.
yeah, I mean, that's easily a strike.
I was going to say, remember, it's where it crosses the plate. This crossed the front part of the plate. You see it right there. It's actually even with the front knee.
Yeah, that's Zach Collins was running off the field because he thought he had caught strike 3, not because of the check swing. And, you know, you wonder, sometimes it happens that the umpire gets caught up in the check swing and doesn't call the pitch as it came into the plate. Todd's a good umpire, and he just missed one.
Yeah, that's going to cost a few more pitches and hopefully nothing more.
Yeah, Solaire's a scary guy, though. There's a strike, 1-1.
Not off to the greatest of starts, but when he's going good, he's as destructive as anybody around.
Soler has the all-time Royals single season home run mark, and he has it by 10. Nobody in a Royals jersey had hit 40 until Soler came around.
Not even Bye-Bye Balboni?
No, Bye-Bye Balboni had 36
Yes,
one year.
I know.
Yeah. You just like saying bye-bye Balboni.
I do, and I'm going to say bye-bye to Soler if he throws him a good slider low and away, because he's not going to be able to check his swing. Let's see what Zach Collins wants.
You know goodbye in multiple languages?
I do. Adios.
Let's test it out. Yeah, that one swerved away.
Little too far outside, but a good idea.
Two for Soler. It's outside, another breaking ball.
That was pretty impressive. He usually doesn't check his swing on that one, but he finds himself with a 3-2 count. So now I like the idea of Jose playing behind Santana, not keeping him on the bag. But right now he still is there. Soler normally doesn't hit the ball to right field.
Foul back. Change up. Where do you go after that?
Well, I don't go back with one of those because he slowed down his motion, and that was something a hitter can read. I just throw him yet another slider. And that's what Zach Collins wants him to throw.
3-2 again to Soler. He struck him out.
That's what we're talking about.
Ciao.
Sayonara. Shalom. Hasta la bye-bye.
StatCast is presented by Google Cloud. The White Sox, since 2020, this includes the festivities on Thursday, have 54 home runs at home. That's top 6 in Major League Baseball, and I think our crew is trying to will a home run into this game here in the 4th inning.
We need another one of those white lines going in the seats.
The crew thinks Zach Collins is going deep this inning.
Oh, how prescient of them.
The crew evidently has been around you for long enough that they're starting to call for things to happen.
Well, I'd like it, certainly. And first at bat, he threw a few too many fastballs, and I think Zach was looking slider. So we'll see what Minor has in store for him.
Crew is now choosing to spotlight Zach Collins because that is their call. 2-1. When the crew thinks somebody's going to homer, we're going to see him at least once on the screen. Two-one. Andrew Vaughn, left field side, but playable for Benintendi. Hopefully that's not a sign that the crew's crystal ball was just a little cloudy and they saw a near home run from Andrew Vaughn.
Andrew hit that hard. Unfortunately, it hung up.
Quick happy birthday wish, by the way, to our new pal on the other side of town, John Boog in his first season calling Cubs games. Happy birthday, Boog.
Which one?
Boog.
No, I know him. Which birthday?
Oh, that is undisclosed.
Undisclosed birthday?
He's a former partner of yours, isn't he?
I worked with him, yes, over at that 4-lettered network.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You've worked with everybody.
Just about.
Yeah. Collins, center field. Taylor on the move, and Taylor is there to make the catch. 2 out. Cruz says it's time for the Sox math answer, but after that at bat, I don't know if I believe him. Number of letters in the last name of the player. First ever Sox home run against the Royals. That is May. 3 is the number. Times 6, the number of letters in the last name of the player with the first Sox complete game against the Royals. That is Joe Horlen. 6. 18 is your answer. Diamond Boy 0606 is your winner, and Diamond Boy 0606 will do the Sox math intro video tomorrow. We thank you for your participation. A lot of correct answers. Diamond Boy was first. That was the first White Sox game against the new Royals at Old Comiskey. And it was a 5-2 Sox win. Joe Horlen threw a complete game.
He had a good sinker, Joe Horlen.
Yep.
Sox historically have had some very good pitchers over the years.
Yeah, we told you about Britt Burns with his complete game in 1985 on opening day. Complete game shutout from Wilbur Wood, 1976. On the ground, up the middle, into center. It's a base hit for Nick Madrigal with 2 out in the 4th.
He's gone right back up the middle twice. This one he got by Minor. The first one, Minor kept the inning alive by booting it. This is a curveball, and it just sneaks by him, then sneaks by Merrifield into center field. It's on the throwing hand side, and pitchers have a hard time coming all the way across their body to make that play. So the inning stays alive.
Nick reached on an error in the second inning. Sox best chance with the bases loaded and 1 out in the second inning, but couldn't crack it as Minor throws on Madrigal. Mike Minor has a very high spin rate fastball, top 3% in baseball.
You know, that's how he gets so many swings and misses in the strike zone, as opposed to most pitchers who throw 91 to 93. You look at his velocities and you say, well, it's a very hittable fastball, and yet he has a tendency to throw it by hitters, which is somewhat surprising at that speed.
Danny just got beaten up pretty good on that first pitch. That was above the zone.
Yeah, not a strike by any means.
Long hold from Minor and a throw to first. Madrigal was on that the whole way.
To quantify what you were talking about, opponents have a 23% miss rate against Mike Minor on pitches in the strike zone, which is pretty high. In fact, 13th best in the major leagues, which is a lofty place to be, especially when you have a fastball that nobody would say was overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination. Yet he does throw it by a whole lot of folks.
No, it's not far from what magicians try to do, right? They try to do things to fool your eyes when you go to one of their shows.
Well, I think it's very important for any pitcher. If you don't have overwhelming stuff, and not a lot of guys in the major leagues can get you out consistently in the strike zone, but if you don't, you have to have a certain amount of deception, and that comes with spin, and sometimes it comes with release point.
Minor had some leftover booing after his throw to Madrigal, like the fans decided to carry it into the next pitch. It was a carryover. Told by Chris Kamka, associate producer and staff writer, that it was only Minor booing.
Thanks.
We just have posted on the White Sox broadcast website, we are in the market for a new staff writer.
Yes, it's Sunday for Chris also.
He's brought the 1983 jokes. That is a major Minor joke right there. 1-2 for Danny Mendick. Minor stares down Madrigal and misses way upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll keep an eye on, easy for me to say, the Indians-Tigers game. Their top 8. Tigers are starting to threaten in the top of the 8th inning as Cleveland heads in here tomorrow. Late swing and a laser into the Kansas City dugout.
He got that little cutter slider hybrid over the middle of the plate and just able to foul it back.
Two and two from Minor. It's a boomerang. That's going to get back near the mound. Minor had one baseball coming to him from the plate, and then that ball was headed back to him as well. The snowball fight at the mound.
Like to have 2 to choose from, then you get to use the one that's most comfortable.
You mean the one that's most scuffed?
Yeah, I mean, if need be. I mean, it would just be an accident if you got one that was scuffed, certainly.
Nice back pedal.
Thanks.
2-2. Checked his swing, didn't go. It's 3-2 on Danny Mendick. Did he?
This is what Chad Whitson saw. He gets another one. You could flip a coin. Came up, get another pitch.
Got one of those trick coins, huh? Madrigal will go on 3 balls, 2 strikes. Off his 2-out single. Fouled back just below our booth. It'll be a 9th pitch to Danny Mendick.
Yeah, one thing that Nick wants to do at first base, that time he got a big enough lead and was actually going back to first base when Minor was delivering it. Get a shorter lead and make sure that your momentum is carrying you to second, because you're going to run. It's 3-2. There's 2 outs. You just don't want to get picked off. So you want to have all your momentum going to the next base.
First base side. Foul again. Sox fans, catch the action from a private Diamond Suite this season. Host your closest friends and family with a customizable food and beverage menu. For more information, call or text 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com today. Danny Mendick is going to see a 10th pitch from Mike Minor. Madrigal at first, 2 out. He missed ball 4, and Danny Mendick takes a 10-pitch walk to flip it back to the top of the card against Minor.
Did a good job of fouling everything back, spoiling some good pitches, all different kinds. A changeup, a couple of varieties of fastballs, the cutter and the slider both, and wound up at first base.
So it's back to Leury Garcia. Leury has opened 2 for 22 this year, but a hit here would be a big one against Minor. He takes a called strike on a slider.
Well, you're not going to see it very much. One of the oddities for Mike Minor is that he gives up a lot of stolen bases second to third. You wouldn't figure Madrigal would be going, however.
0-2. It's worth having in the back of your head for later in the game, though.
Yeah. Well, they had one shot. Robert led off with a double last inning. Then got advanced by Abreu on a ground ball to second. Did not make the attempt to try to steal third.
Oh, 2. That's buried. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leury struck out in the first and hit a humpback line drive to second to end the second inning with the bases loaded and 2 out.
Bullpen up and going for Mike Matheny. So at the 80 pitch mark and 3rd time through the lineup, Matheny's not taking any chances. You see Brentz, Jake Brentz, loosening up, but that's probably not him unless he's throwing with his right arm these days.
You got Pat Venditti out there?
Could be.
One ball and 2 strikes. Now time called by Garcia. They have 7 right-handers out in that bullpen. And the Sox have Lamb, Williams, Eaton, all lefties on the bench, and Yasmani Grandal getting the day off too. This has been a long inning again. Carlos Santana was down in a crouch over at first base as he was waiting for Minor to come home.
The infielders really love it when pitchers take an inordinate amount of time between pitches.
You sound like maybe an infielder told you that at some point.
I had the pitching coach come out and tell me that.
Two and 2 to Garcia. Line over third. It's a fair ball. The Sox will take the lead by a run. It's an RBI double. Madrigal home, and Leury Garcia comes through with a 2-strike double.
It looked like Dozier might have misread this off the bat. It looks to me like he didn't try to get it at the top of his jump. It's hit off the end of the bat, maybe not hit as hard, But Dozier goes up, and it looks like almost on the way down, the ball goes over his glove.
Yep.
To me, that's just misread. Again, when you hit it off the end of the bat, whatever it is, he can't get it, and whatever it is, the Sox are on top by a run. So after a lengthy at bat, the third at bat, Leury puts the Sox on top by 1, looking for more right here.
And credit Danny Mendick with a 10-pitch walk in front of Leury Garcia to push the inning along. And now Luis Robert, who hammered a double last time, has a chance to break it open. Oh, and he wanted to.
Got a four-seam fastball up and out of the zone. A little over anxious on that one.
It was almost like Dozier at third was looking fastball and got a slider.
That's what happens sometimes when you hit it off the end of the bat, because you're reading bat speed and the ball just doesn't get there because it's not hit on the good spot. So Luis got a slider last time, opened up, almost hit it out of the ballpark, which probably means he's going to stay away this at bat for the most part, unless he goes in off the plate.
He just missed that ball to left field. Benintendi is there, and that'll do it. RBI double. Leury Garcia in the leadoff spot in a 1-0 Sox lead. Fifth inning's brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Every time we watch that double play that Madrigal turned in the fourth inning, it gets better. That's a tough play.
No, he did a really nice job because the ball just barely got there, and then he had to step back and throw in the same motion. That was pretty impressive.
Dylan Cease to Hunter Dozier, who he walked and then balked and then got picked off. It's quite the adventure in the second inning.
Well, what you have to hope is that he was able to take enough warm-up pitches, because last half inning took a long time and he was sitting on the bench.
It's been, with the exception of a couple batters, a more efficient day for Dylan Cease. I mean, last time out 4 2/3 in 92 pitches. Dylan in his career has had a 5-inning outing, go 106 pitches. That was in September of 2019.
And he's thrown 6 straight bad ones to Dozier.
Would have been 7, but Dozier decided to go up into the sub-attic.
Well, he knows he's got something in his hand. He couldn't figure out exactly what it was or what it was for, so he decided to swing and see.
Oh, a bat.
Yeah. 6 pitches, 6 out of the zone, the 7th out of the zone, but turned into a swinging strike.
Foul ball, 2-2. One hit for Kansas City. That was Merrifield on a single in the third. He was eventually caught stealing as he couldn't anchor himself to the bag. Replay reviewed it, and the Sox got the overturn, so Tony La Russa gets his challenge back. Two-two fastball gunned him down. 6th strikeout for Dylan Cease. Thanks for joining us wherever you might be. I'm Jason. He's Steve. And what do you make of Dylan Cease so far today, Uncle Steve?
I really like the life on the fastball. He's throwing a lot of high fastballs by these Kansas City hitters, and he's mixing his speeds well. I think all in all, pretty impressive outing for him. A couple times he lost his concentration, not much and not long, but this is a step forward for Dylan. This is how he's going to look when he gets really good.
What's the biggest improvement today, you think?
Almost without exception, he's getting ahead of hitters. A couple times he's fallen behind and then couldn't right the pitch. But, you know, when you look at this stuff, he's had maybe half his curveballs have been good ones. Most of the sliders have been good ones. And a lot of the fastballs have been very lively ones upstairs.
2 balls and a strike. This is nothing against Don Cooper, who did wonderful things for the White Sox in his tenure, but it always seemed to me, since Ethan Katz got the job, that he would be the perfect fit for Dylan Cease, that they analytically see the game very similarly.
Well, I think they do, and I think also what he was stressing for Dylan was the way he had to do it, which is you have to stay closed. You have to make sure that you're balancing over the back foot and exploding at the hitter, but staying closed is the key.
This to left field is going to get down. It's a base hit for Isbell, who broke an 0 for 13 with that 1-out single.
Hey, White Sox fans, with Xfinity Mobile, you can save hundreds on the most reliable network nationwide. Your wireless, your rules, only with Xfinity Mobile.
You said nationwide. I thought we were going to sing again.
I think it deserves an encore. Yeah.
That morbidly stretches the definition of deserves. Throw to first, and Isbell's back. Former Cape Cod League All-Star Kyle Isbell.
I played there.
But you didn't make the All-Star game because you got sick, right?
Yeah, I played. I pitched 1 game. Was there for 2 games. And then was unceremoniously shipped home.
What'd you have? What happened?
Well, it started with mononucleosis.
Congrats.
Then went to hepatitis.
Oh boy.
And then to get the triple crown, I got anemia to go with it.
You could have said I don't want to say.
No.
But boy, what a fun day at the ballpark we're having. Taylor to center field, base hit. Isbell to second. With 1 out, Nicky Lopez will come up. I don't know how to follow that, but I will try. There's a feeling that transcends generations. It's the love for Las Chivas de Guadalajara. Only Telemundo Chicago brings you every play to make your red and white heart beat faster. Telemundo, the home of Las Chivas. And here comes Ethan Katz to talk to Dylan Cease. 2 on, 1 out. Nicky Lopez will hit you a ground ball. He certainly will. He's a ground ball hitter.
But then he's pretty fast, so if you're going to turn to it, better be a quick 2. And Ethan comes out to try to settle him down, put a positive thought in his mind, and that's how you want to leave your starting pitcher. Michael Kopech starting to loosen up, get ready. Dylan is at the 85 pitch mark. He doesn't want this inning to get away from him, and so with a few days off, Kopech and Crochet, if need be, are ready to go for the game today, with Cleveland coming to town tomorrow.
Everybody's ready. I mean, you could lay out the whole bullpen, although there's not another off day for a while.
But at least for today, a whole world of options.
A galaxy of choices, if you will.
A cornucopia of picks.
A lot of them, too.
It's true.
Here is Nicky Lopez. Just got a tweet from Jacob E45 saying he's a Las Chivas fan now, so the promos work. Lopez, a Gold Glove finalist last year, playing second base for Kansas City. Now at shortstop with the injury to Adalberto Mondesi.
And a couple of days ago, when we were starting this series, in the 8th inning against Lance Lynn in his gem, he hit a ground ball to second base. They were unable to turn it at the time. Wound up not hurting anybody.
Lopez skyward. Robert straightaway center. 2 gone. And now a dangerous batter. Right. 2 on 2 out for Merrifield.
But that last hitter showed you the progress of Dylan Cease. And I say the progress because he used a straight change in a key situation in the game. You're up a run. You got Lopez up, a left-hand hitter. Dylan has had his problems with left-handers, and yet he went to what a lot of people think might be his 4th best pitch, the straight change, and he got an out on it. So that is one of the impressive things about this outing.
He only threw 3 changeups in that first game. And that number has grown pretty substantially. That was a very good fastball he didn't get.
Well, the one thing that's been consistent, Todd Tichenor has not called a low strike. That was borderline anyway. You can understand why he wouldn't be getting that one.
Leads a thin one at 1-0, and now 2 balls, no strikes on a curveball to Merrifield. Merrifield to left. Vaughn's up with it. Isbell's coming home, and the Royals have tied the ball game.
Ten driven in by Merrifield, and that's a fastball, and it's pretty much center cut. Belt high center cut. Merrifield too good a hitter to miss one of these. Takes it into left field, and just like that, it's a brand new game.
I think that's going to be it. That will be it for Dylan Cease. 90 pitches. And Benintendi is going to face the White Sox bullpen.
Michael Kopech coming into this. Dylan Cease's day is done, as Kopech and Benintendi will provide the opposition. So we'll step out. Good day for Dylan Cease. He would love to wind up with a no decision. Bank called to the pen. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. And Michael Kopech, who's been pretty close to untouchable so far, comes into this one. He inherits a couple of base runners. It's a game tied at 1. And Kopech on for the 3rd time. 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. Left-handers, nary a hit against him. Right-handers not too much better at 125, and he'll be staring in at a fine young left-hand hitter, Andrew Benintendi.
So Dylan Cease's day is done. Merrifield and Taylor are his property, and 2 guys drafted in the 1st round by the Boston Red Sox get together on this chilly April day in Chicago wearing Sox and Royals jerseys. Benintendi in 2015, Kopech a 1st round pick late in the 1st round 2014. Kopech off the plate twice. Fastball 2-0. To second. Madrigal meets the ball, throws him out, inning over. Kopech gets the out he needs. The Sox will have a chance to take the lead again next with Jose. It's around Major League Baseball, and if you missed it the other night, the San Diego Padres have their very first no-hitter in team history, and it's a local product. Joe Musgrove from the San Diego area got himself a no-hitter, got himself a souvenir, and then Trey Mancini, colon cancer, back to the Orioles jersey and his first home run. He got a standing ovation from Orioles fans, and just a remarkable story for a great young man.
Scott Barlow comes into this game on for the 4th time. Last year in a 60-game season, he appeared in 32 games. So he is the epitome of the durable Pensman.
He's the Kansas City worker bee out there as he throws a lot of sliders, and there's ball 1. Postscript to Joe Musgrove real quick.
Yeah.
He said that he drank like 10 or 11 bottles of water over the course of the no-hitter, but got a little superstitious and didn't want to go use the restroom. So for like innings, he was going to burst, and he just took all that energy and turned it into a gem.
Well, maybe I'll bear that in mind, but I don't have a bladder the size of a Long Island, so even with all kind of work, 10 bottles of water that's a lot of water. However, Musgrove's always had great stuff.
Yep.
It really is plus stuff, and he obviously had it all together.
2-0 from Barlow to Abreu. You were going to say something else about Barlow?
I was going to say, just look slider and look middle away. If he throws that slider inside to a right-hander, it's usually a mistake. But he is going to throw righty-righty. He's going to throw a lot of sliders. So unless he hangs it, it's a terrific pitch to hit to right center field.
When it's good, though, he gets a lot of chases.
There's no doubt. I mean, he's a durable guy who will take the ball anytime asked.
Jose got tied up in knots. It is Merrifield from second base for round number 1 as we check into the studio and see what's coming up on Subaru White Sox post game live. Chuck Garfien, Ozzie Guillen. Thank you, Chuck and Ozzie. Really appreciate it. I'm with Ozzie there.
I completely agree with Ozzie, and that's spoken like a manager who had one priority, that was winning games for the Sox, and that's what all managers should do. That's certainly what Tony will do. And he got out of the inning. And he got out of the inning without facing Salvi Perez, who's one of their more destructive right-hand hitters. So when you fall behind 2-0 on Benintendi, throw him a fastball and get out, consider yourself fortunate. Now Yoan gets to turn around and hit from the left side, where hopefully he'll be a little more comfortable. He did not have good at bats from the right side the first 2.
Fly out and a pop out from Moncada today as he takes a climbing fastball. It's 2-0. Sox have stranded 7 through 4 today.
Yeah, Mike Minor walked the tightrope and only gave up the 1 run. He walked 3, gave up the 4 hits, but he made good pitches when he had to make them.
3-0 on Moncada. And Barlow alternatively looked a lot more comfortable pitching to a right-hander than to a left-hander here.
I'd give you on a 3-0 green light, because you're not going to see too many straight pitches from Barlow, and you might just see one here.
Ooh, boy.
Right down the middle, 96.
Three and one coming. Into center. Taylor's got it. 2 down. Learn from the pros this summer at a White Sox summer camp presented by Wintrust. Starting at $149, kids ages 5 to 12 can register for a camp at any of our 40 locations throughout the Chicagoland area. Register today at whitesox.com/play. Good to see the kids at the ballpark again, and things are opening up slowly but surely with the help of science, and great to have all the help of everybody from Rush in order to get the White Sox vaccinated and their traveling party vaccinated after the game on Thursday. It's a big day for the team, certainly. The White Sox thanked the Department of Public Health in Chicago and Rush University Medical Center, and the White Sox have reported that virtually everybody in the traveling party, is the way that the Sox put it, and Rick Hahn, virtually everybody, just about everybody in the traveling party was able to get vaccinated after the game on Thursday. The off days certainly helped, the off day and then the rain out. And Danny Mendick had said before the game today that he did it for everybody around him, for himself, for the whole group, and a good message from the White Sox.
Good message here is you got the hottest hitter on the team with a great hitter's pitch at 2-0.
Hang a slider. Or just missed badly. 3-0.
He did, and he hung it too far inside.
The greenest of lights?
I would think so.
The Jay Gatsby,
yep,
West Egg, East Egg light.
I don't think he'll get that same fastball Moncada got.
Well, he wanted to, and it was ball 4. Mercedes on base for the second time today.
I love the fact that he's patient enough to take a couple of walks. because they're going to find out what we've seen, and that is, number one, he doesn't strike out a lot. Number two, doesn't swing at a lot of bad pitches.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be testing up, down, in, out. They're going to be testing a lot of breaking balls against him, but so far nobody's found that one piece of the formula that says you can get him out all the time.
They tried to pitch him inside in the second inning. He took the walk as Vaughn looks at ball one. Andrew Vaughn's been very patient so far in his major league career as well, seeing about 5 pitches per trip to the plate.
He had a good swing leading off last inning. He didn't get it on the good part of the bat, but he hit it to left field, and he just really missed the sweet spot.
Took a slider for a strike there from Barlow. 1-1.
Mercedes now has the same amount of walks as strikeouts, 3-3, which I know that he's an older young hitter, but he's still young major league wise.
Right. Ball and a strike on Vaughn. It's a fastball down, 2-1. Barlow's got hair that looks like a wig, but it's real. Three balls and a strike from Barlow to Vaughn. Zach Collins is next.
Well, depending on what Andrew likes, whether it's middle out, middle in, that's what you have the luxury of looking for on a 3-1 pitch.
Three and one from Barlow. That's down. It's ball 4. Back-to-back walks for 2 Sox rookies.
NBC5 investigates, following the clues, tracking the local true crime stories, and always, I say, asking tough questions for you. It's storytelling at its best. Catch Rob Stafford and the NBC5 Investigates team on NBC5 News.
You sounded like a hard-boiled detective when you did that promo.
I used to be hard-boiled.
What are you now?
Ooh, scrambled, certainly.
I was going to say sunny side up is about plus 20,000.
Yeah, that's
so
not sunny side up, but a good conversation as Perez goes out to Barlow, suggesting he throw a strike or 2.
You're paraphrasing there.
I think so.
Yeah. Twice in this game, Steve, Mercedes and Vaughn have walked back-to-back.
Well, the difference, unfortunately, in the second, it was the first 2 hitters of the inning, a golden opportunity to score. The Sox didn't. This time it's with 2 outs. And Collins hit the ball in the gap last time. Not great. But again, he had a nice swing at it, just caught it off the wrong part of the bat. He's been swinging it very well.
Seems like he's seeing it pretty well, too.
What I hope he doesn't forget is what he did in spring training, which is there's a lot of base hits to left center field. Lots of them.
Power there, too.
Yep.
That's a strike at the very top of the zone on a slider. Zach got jammed. Taylor puts it away. Sox have left 9. We're tied at 1.
Since 1945, Marquette Bank has worked to improve the lives of neighbors, families, and business owners. They're a neighborhood bank with online banking, mobile banking, and digital home financing. Better than that, and what could get better than that? They're a bank that cares about your success and our communities. Discover neighborhood banking that feels good at emarquette.com.
So it's emarquettebank.com.
That too.
So it's the longest read in human history.
It is that.
And you're ad-libbing like you're a Second City employee.
Just a little. By the way, they're reopening, I think.
Are they?
Yeah, they've made it bigger. It's one of the great experiences in Chicago. If you get a chance, got to see Second City. There's been just star after star passing through there, getting their starts. great place to watch comedy.
A lot of Sox fans have come through Second City.
Yes, very
as
much
well.
so.
Ball and a strike on Salvador Perez. I just like that you look at that Marquette Bank read and you say, you know what, that should be longer.
Should be. Take an inning and a half.
2 balls and a strike from Kopech to Salvador Perez. It's been a weird game today. The Sox have had a lot of chances so far.
What it feels like is it should be 5-1. Instead, it is 1-1, and you don't like to see those games hang around there too long.
6th inning is brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade Seltzer.
Wait a second, I get War and Peace to read and you get that? 6th inning brought to you by Mark's Hard Lemonade Seltzer. That's
Mike.
it?
I don't know who Mark is, but
It isn't Mark's?
no, it's
Oh, it's Mike's?
it's Mike.
Yeah, okay.
Ground ball foul, third base side. You read War and Peace? You ever read that? You're not bellicose enough for that, are you?
No, just to start.
Just the beginning, your first 20 pages or so?
Just War.
That
I
was
didn't get to
yeah.
Peace.
Well, that's noticeable. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Salvador Perez from Michael Kopech. Oh, he struck him out. Fastball up the ladder.
Selby's not going to take too many walks, and he hasn't seen too many pitches that he doesn't like. This is an explosive fastball. You got 0 chance of catching up to that pitch. He gets a lot of backspin, a lot of ride, as they say, and no contact.
One down for Carlos Santana. Watch the replay of this again. Watch Zach Collins and his glove catching this ball. That's a lot of run and ride on that fastball.
Zach's had a good day behind the plate. He's had a couple of situations where he sets up in one spot, has to go across the plate and still make the catch. And against guys that are throwing 97, 98 consistently, that's not an easy thing to do.
No, the White Sox have the hardest throwing staff in Major League Baseball for the first week of the season. One and 2 on Carlos Santana, who turned 35 on Thursday for the Sox home opener. Evidently, the catch was not made by the fan on the third base side because somebody's getting booed out of their seats.
It can happen.
Ruben wouldn't have dropped it. Popped up. Danny Mendick for out number 2. We like to stay on the beat and get our private eyes in Sox Files to figure out who we're talking about. Hashtag Sox Files on Twitter. Who is this that we're talking about? Homer in their first career Major League Baseball at bat with the Braves, won a Gold Glove with the Royals and a Silver Slugger with the Sox, and then 27 home runs in his final Major League season. First career at bat came with the Braves, Royals and Sox as well.
Chipper Jones.
With the Sox?
No,
when
with
did
the Braves.
Chipper Yeah. Wow. You're Abbott and Costello at the same time. We did not know we needed that.
There's
Big
some,
rip.
you know, it's not only that it's 97 because there's a lot of guys now in the major leagues that actually throw in that neighborhood. But Michael Kopech's fastball just explodes. Yasmani Grandal was talking about it, and it brought a smile to his face.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Well, flight 12 just left a little early. Soler with a quick departure as Michael Kopech aced him in 3. Ooh, baby. That's nasty. Auto Group wants you to get caught up, and so it shall be. Leury Garcia, bottom of the 4th inning. He came up with 2 out, couple of runners on, and he brings home Nick Madrigal. RBI double. But then the Royals tied it with Merrifield. 2 out, 2 on. RBI single to left, and we're tied at 1. And that is you getting caught up. And how often do you see it? A guy comes in to pitch after the guy he was once traded for strikes out in the top of the inning.
Seemingly all the time as Wade Davis ascends the hill. On for the 4th time. 1 for 1 in saves. Some other pretty impressive numbers to this point.
Was once traded for Jorge Soler. There's a ball to Madrigal, who's 1 for 2. Got on base on an error in the 2nd.
Sox saw Davis briefly in the opener of this series. This abbreviated series, if you will.
Yeah. To third. That's a heck of a pick by Dozier off the spin on a ball that very easily could have gotten by him playing in, and 1 gone.
Pretty good effort by Dozier to his left. He's well wide of the bag to begin with. And then that's a tough hop because you're getting not only a bouncing, but you're getting a skidding baseball on the grass. He's able to make the play. This is actually a good effort.
Danny Mendick is now walking up to, I believe, Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts. Didn't Chuck Garfien go to a Rascal Flatts concert once?
He was going to, except for the game took 20 innings, 6 hours, and
there's a rain delay.
I think he got, yeah, he got rascaled out of that one, I think.
Yeah. Chuck's in the studio like, why are they talking about 2 strikes on Danny Mendick? 1 out, 6th inning. Sox have stranded 9 so far in the game, and this will be a bullpen game with Michael Kopech facing 4 batters and not giving up a ball out of the infield so far.
No, dispatching them rather quickly with a variety of really good pitches.
He looks like he's got a sense of calm about him.
It's a completely different guy, but this version of a very young pitcher still in the major leagues looks like the sky is the limit, because he does have a different type of fastball than most.
Salvador Perez looked like he was under attack by that baseball.
I think he took it off the left bicep. Davis using his wipeout slider, and the only guy he almost wiped out was Salvi. Watch it again. It gets him. Yeah, it gets him. Well, little on the forearm, little on the bicep, little on the side. But a nice stop nonetheless.
Shattered bat pop-up, second base, and Merrifield. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for the White Sox. That Salvador Perez catch brings me to the one rule change we've seen in Major League Baseball this year, and it has to do with the drop third strike. That a drop third strike, in order to be caught, doesn't need to immediately hit the glove first. It can come off of the catcher's equipment and then be caught and still be an official out on the catch.
Okay, we'll go with it.
We kind of have to. It's in the rule book.
Well, then we'll go with it for sure.
I know you've been lobbying to get rules changed in favor of pitchers for years now. Chuck Garfien tweets, yes, Jason Benetti, I did once go to a Rascal Flatts concert. How you know that, I have no idea.
We have his entire history before us.
We do. Yeah. Every ticket you've ever bought to an event, Chuck. Oh, Salvi. It's a siege on Salvi Perez.
If you got a pitcher that depends on a slider, you're going to probably get hit a few times, because the best sliders are the ones that usually wind up just over the front edge of the plate and in the dirt.
One and two on Garcia.
There's another one.
It's a third one.
Yeah.
I mean, You ever played dodgeball in gym class?
I did. A few weeks ago.
You went to somebody's gym class?
No, mine.
Oh, I thought maybe you were doing your Larry David impersonation. You went to an outdoor dodgeball game at the school.
Well, Salvi would like to miss a couple of these.
It's called strike 3, right on the outside edge, a fastball. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Wade Davis. 1-4-1 for everybody. Seventh inning, off we go. Michael Kopech, Hunter Dozier, first pitch. Just a little bit low. Again, Todd Tichenor has not given the low strike very much at all today.
No, that part of it's been consistent. And if he doesn't call it down there, you just don't call it, whether it's the second inning or the eighth inning.
To short. Oh, Danny Mendick, go get you one.
Well, with Dozier still hunting his first hit of the season, he hits one like that and you figure, well, I'm on the board, only to see Danny Mendick to his right make a great grab.
Oof.
Good way to start the inning. Not for Dozier, but for Kopech and Mendick.
That makes Danny the gatherer on Hunter's effort to shortstop.
That one was hard hit. Usually at that exit velocity you see a base hit.
Alas, one down. Now Isbell. Fouled away, strike one. Michael Kopech last threw at Guaranteed Rate Field September 5th, 2018. Into right, Garcia for round number 2.
Time down for the T-Mobile coverage cam, and we're going to go back to a pitch that Michael made last inning. This is 91. It looks just like his fastball. It's his changeup, one of the harder changeups around, and it's really just an exceptional pitch. Santana pops it straight up, and it ends the at bat. And you can't read it, and when you can't read it and the guy's got 97, 98, it's impossible to really hit it.
Well, Carlos Santana has one of the most discerning eyes in Major League Baseball, and he had no idea what he's looking at.
No, it was just perfectly executed and a great straight change.
Man,
His 97, 98, you can see it. It pretty much has a life of its own. It's coming in because of the backspin and the extension he gets. It's coming in at the last instant. It really appears to hop. Supposedly, you can't make a baseball go up. Supposedly, it's just a degree of going down that just about nobody else has. But it comes from backspin and it comes from great extension. And Michael has it both, which means that his fastball at 98 probably has a perceived velocity of about 102.
now that's a riding fastball that came inside hard on him.
I think he might have changed the grip. I mean, that could conceivably be a two-seamer. There is movement in and right off the leg of Taylor. This doesn't feel that great.
That's a homing missile.
Everything today he's thrown has big late movement.
What's in the trick bag for Taylor on 1 and 2? Oh goodness, how'd he lay off that? Michael Kopech threw 2 innings so far, which has been the norm for him. Reach out to spoil it foul. Taylor didn't know if it was a ball or a strike.
Well, changing eye angles, which he's done. He went a couple of inside fastballs. Now he throws a couple of sliders away. It's a really nice time for another fastball that favors the inside part of the plate. I was going to get a slider. That's what Collins wants.
It's a high slider for strike 3. Taylor's mind was in a blender. Kopech has struck out 3 in 2 1/3. We are tied, and we will stick around and listen in for a Sunday afternoon rendition of God Bless America.
God Bless America is performed in support of our country and our men and women stationed overseas. Please turn your attention to the center field video board as Aaron Beals performs God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Tied at 1, bottom of the 7th inning. The Royals go deeper into the bullpen here in the 7th inning.
Got a hard throwing right-hander in the ball game, one that we have seen before. Staumont, he's got some fire.
He'll face Luis Robert first, then Abreu and Moncada. And a first pitch strike from the alumnus of Azusa Pacific University, well known for its football players coming through.
That's what he's done so far, and nobody's really touched him. But you know he's going to give up his first hit of the season in this performance.
It's got to happen sometime. Right field and foul.
That was 100 miles an hour, so there's nothing wrong with his arm. The only thing that's ever been able to stop him has been his command. If he's got command, he's awfully tough.
Luis trying to stay warm today.
Can't blame him. It is a little chilly.
There's a nip in the air. Check to swing, didn't go. 1-2.
He actually has a surprisingly good curveball. I mean,
Yeah.
that we saw last time, and when he gets it in the zone, it is really tough to deal with.
Into right, foul ground again. Mentioned Staumont out of Azusa Pacific. Christian Okoye, a Hall of Famer from Azusa Pacific, Kansas City Chief running back, who showed up at Azusa Pacific as a discus thrower and then left as a second-round pick and eventual tremendous NFL running back.
That's an odd combination.
Yeah. Jackie Slater went there too.
Pretty good offensive lineman.
Robert took the curveball at strike 3. Time now for a message from Powering Chicago.
Who powers Chicago? We do. Powering Chicago's members consistently help create better construction, better careers, and better communities. Powering Chicago. IBEW Local 134, NECA, Chicago.
He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti, and we are tied at 1 in the bottom of the 7th inning from Guaranteed Rate Field. Sox scored in the 4th, Kansas City in the 5th, and that is all she wrote for the offense today. Two teams at 500 to open the year. Sox 4-4, Royals 3-3, and Jose Abreu looks at a hammer of a curveball.
Now that's a good one. Watch, Robert, watch where this ball comes in. Just below the letters. It's a high curveball. Everybody mistakes that with a hanger. It's not really a hanger. In fact, that one broke quickly. He got the benefit of the call, but very few people are going to hit that because most people are going to give up on it, and then it's going to snap in the zone.
Staumont has strike 2, a fastball at 97 to Jose. Two strikes from Staumont. Struck him out on a curveball in the dirt. And 2 gone in the 7th.
Good block. Perez knows it's going to be in the dirt. He's able to smother it. And no chance for Abreu. So I'm thinking here's the first hit of the year. Off Staumont anyway.
You think so?
I think Yuan's going to see a fastball. Hopefully he gets careless with it. Right now, anywhere from 98 to 100 has been tough to handle for the boys.
To first, Santana for Staumont. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Royals right-hander. To the 8th we go. Level at 1.
Presented by First Midwest Bank, and it's a well-turned double play. Salvi Perez hits it. Good turn by Nick Madrigal, and this helps the boys get out of a problem. Nice job by Madrigal, and got him by a half step. Pretty good on both ends.
You think that was an out at first base?
Oh, absolutely, by plenty. He had him by three inches for sure. Aaron Bummer comes into this one on for the 4th time. 4 strikeouts, couple of walks. He inherits from Michael Kopech, who once again for the 3rd time, each one 2 or more innings, 2 1/3 this time with 3 strikeouts and nothing else. That's one of the great stories around this team, is the reemergence of Michael Kopech after what he went through. Decided not to play last year, comes back this year, and he's just setting it on fire out of the bullpen.
This is as lively of a set of bullpen arms as you will find in Major League Baseball.
I mean, Kopech came on in relief of Dylan Cease. He got out of what appeared to be a difficult inning and then just sailed right along.
2-0 from Bummer to Nicky Lopez, who popped out to short in the 3rd and then flied out in the 5th.
If you are going to have one of those years where you're in the race from start to finish, you're going to have a few guys come through. And by coming through, I mean stepping up in a big way to do something maybe they weren't penciled in to do. In case of Michael Kopech was a lifetime starter. You didn't think much about him out of the pen, but that's how he helps the ball club best at this point.
Aaron missed ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to Nicky Lopez. Time for some fun at home presented by American Sail, and it's Michael Kopech here at home.
Well, he had a very explosive fastball. His slider was in a perfect spot. Nobody really able to square up anything. And even when he hung the occasional slider, it worked very well. So a fine outing of 2 1/3 innings.
5 straight pitches out of the zone from Bummer to Lopez and Merrifield, and now Zach Collins goes out to the mound.
Yeah, that's been one of the difficult spots for Aaron Bummer, is control. That pinpoint control hasn't really been there in the early going.
That was something that hit Aaron when he first came up to the big leagues.
Yep.
That the first batter would see some pitches out of the zone as Hoyer gets loose.
You got some consequential right-handers after Benintendi, who's coming up after Merrifield, and this is an ideal hit-and-run situation if Mike Matheny wants it.
Chopper foul. Yeah, Merrifield very good at making contact when you need it.
He's also, look, he's hitting over 400 plus. Aaron Bummer, when he's right, is a ground ball machine. And a ground ball, especially if it's hit up the middle, is going to be 2.
That's a called strike right on the edge, and the other bonus you get if you're Matheny and you do that is you force the fielders to move to cover second base. Bummer on 1 and 2. Got a swing and a miss. That was that nasty slider cutter, and one gone.
Well, he got him into a situation where he could use the wipeout, and when you see a guy throwing nothing but sinkers and all of a sudden he throws one of these, it's good night.
Yeah, there's no pot of gold at the end of that rainbow.
Yeah, great rotation on that.
Andrew Benintendi, 1 out, 1 on. Ball 1. Benintendi's former team, the Red Sox, are leading Baltimore 14-9 in the 9th. After the 4th inning in that game, there have been 18 runs scored. Runner goes. Zach Collins has no chance, and Nicky Lopez steals second base.
Well, he's one of their base stealers in the absence of Mondesi. He's one of the guys that you have to keep an eye on. He gets a very good jump, and what Collins was saying as he turned back to Todd Tishner was maybe Benintendi left that bat in the zone as he was coming up. He wanted to buy some sort of interference obstruction call and didn't get it.
It's a judgment call for the plate umpire, and Tishner didn't see anything, so 2-1 to Benintendi. Sox in the bottom of the 8th will have Mercedes, Vaughn, and Collins in what they hope is still a 1-1 ball game. Left-hand side, that's through. And that's going to give Kansas City the lead. Andrew Benintendi drives home Lopez, and the stolen base comes up big for Kansas City.
First run batted in of his Kansas City Royal career. When you get sinkers up and belt high is up for a sinker, you normally have a problem, and Benintendi takes this through the left side. So the stolen base comes back to haunt the Sox, and that is going to be it for Aaron Bummer. Leadoff walks will kill you, especially followed by stolen bases, and Kansas City takes the lead.
It's going to be Cody Hoyer coming out of the bullpen for the Sox to face Salvador Perez, Kansas City's first lead. Baseballs and bases for the month of April are available for pre-order. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/buy-it-now.
Good Lakeside Bank call to the pen. It is Cody Hoyer. He inherits Benintendi at first base. He's already run once this afternoon, so you got to keep your eye on him. And he's looking at another good man for 2. So that's what Cody has done this year. It's been very impressive. ERA below 2.5. Surprisingly, right-handers with better numbers against them than lefties, but that's going to even out.
Salvador Perez checks his swing and didn't go. Late appeal. Still within the statute of limitations. Ball 1. A really good slider, 1-1. So Aaron Bummer is going to drive him crazy that he 4-pitch walked the 9-hitter.
Yeah, there's no doubt that in a 1-1 game, you walk a leadoff hitter, especially one with any speed at all, it winds up costing you the lead. So nothing he intended to do, but unfortunately, you don't get away with too many of those late in a tie game.
A cringe from the Royals veteran catcher on that slider that clipped the inside corner. One and 2 from Cody. There goes Benintendi. Strike 3. Throw down to second is there. He got him. Zach Collins apprehends Benintendi, and a strike him out, throw him out, sends the Sox to the bat rack.
We'll take another look. Pinpoint throw. Zach Collins doing a nice job behind the plate today. Madrigal slaps on the tag, and it's out of the inning with a 1-run deficit.
Buy and manage game tickets, order your favorite food and beverages, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB app today. 1 inning by 1 inning for Mike Matheny out of that bullpen. He's gotten a shutout from Barlow, Davis, and Stallmont for now. To this.
Jesse Hahn 1 for 2 in save situations. His ERA is up there. That's the early season. Right-handers have hurt him. Left-handers have hit him okay, and he's trying to protect a 1-run lead as the Sox got to come back late in this one.
From Hahn, you will see sinker and curveball for the most part. He'll mix in a little bit of a slider, but it's a high spin rate curveball. Yermin Mercedes takes a strike at 92.
One thing to bear in mind for Yermin, he hasn't seen any of these guys, so he wanted to take a look, and he got a fairly hittable 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's a breaking ball that missed.
Yeah, that's the hook, and that's really one of the reasons why he's around the major leagues. That hook is a very good one.
1-1 from Hahn. Mercedes takes in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Sox do have 3 lefties and a switch hitter on the bench today, including Yasmani Grandal. Two-1. That's outside. It's 3-1. Would he dare throw him a 3-1 curveball?
No, he's going to throw him a fastball, or he's going to try to make it sink. He wants to make it as hittable as possible and get the ground ball. That at least is a game plan as we look into Salvi. We'll see what he calls. And that's a fastball away. He's going to try to sink it.
3-1. Mercedes takes ball 4. 3rd walk for Yermin Mercedes, and now Adam Eaton has grabbed a bat for Andrew Vaughn. Sox had 10 games in 60 last year with 5 or more walks. The Sox already have 6 of them, and the Sox are going to go ahead and pinch run for Mercedes with Williams.
Well, that represents a tying run. It's late in the game, and although you don't have that many moves off the bench, this is one you do have.
Now, we've talked about this before. Neither of us, I think, loves the bunt after a guy's walked somebody.
Oh, you're at least going to take a strike or 2, but you certainly want to get to that sinker before you get to the curveball from Hahn.
Eaton takes ball one. Williams at first. 1-0 for Eaton. Adam takes a strike on the curveball.
Now you can really tell just how comfortable he is with that hook, because after a leadoff walk and a wide fastball, he goes back to the hook. If Adam can get around on one of those curves, and you'd figure he's going to see one, there's a big hole on the right side to drive it through.
Sinker fouled away, 1-2. Nick Williams at first. 1-2 for Eaton. Adam fouls it back. Another sinker that was up in the zone.
I just have to believe here, and you can't really look for anything with 2 strikes, but you got to figure he's going back with that breaking ball. That's been his bread and butter. And Salvi leaves no doubt what he wants.
Missed it. 2-2. Good speed at first with Nick Williams. Two and two from Hahn. Adam in the air down the right field line toward the corner. This ball is gone. He busted over the wall and around the pole. 3-2 Sox.
He got that curveball. That's a ball you can pull, and he just barely was able to keep it fair, but a line drive rocket of a home run. Eaton comes off the bench, getting his first swings of the day, and just like that, the Sox go up by a run.
A pinch hit, 2-run home run. The return of Adam Eaton has been glorious so far, and now Hahn, who is rocked, throws ball one. And now Liam Hendriks is in line to come in and close his first game at home.
Eaton with his second home run of the year. He's driven in 7. And as important as that first home run was in Anaheim, this one is even more important.
Adam Eaton's first ever pinch hit home run gives the Sox a lead, and Jesse Hahn is on the ropes. And a good time had by all on the White Sox bench.
I would say it's a very happy bench at this point, and a very happy Liam Hendriks, because he's going to get a chance to save a ball game.
Maybe. Depending.
Well, it would be nice. I mean, if it's a non-save situation, he needs an inning anyway, bring him in. However, you got to score a few more, which would make it a lot more comfortable than a 1-run lead.
Ball forward to Zach Collins. Back to the home run, Steve.
Looked to me like he was looking breaking ball the whole time, and there's our Ford home run replay, and this one came spinning up. It wasn't a sharp breaking ball. He tried to shave off the outside corner with the pitch before. He didn't get it there. This one for a left-hand hitter is down and out over the plate and gone just inside the pole.
That is wheelhouse theater for Adam Eaton for a left-handed swing. And now the Royals are going to go deeper into the bullpen. 3 batters, and see you later. The ejector seat for Jesse Hahn from Adam Eaton, and a Sox lead. Adam Eaton has given the Sox a 3-2 lead and forced Greg Holland, the Royals closer, into a non-save and more a clean up the Ashes situation.
Well, last year Holland came back to Kansas City, scene of a lot of his greatness. Our Lakeside Bank call to the pen. Is Holland on for the 3rd time? ERA, a little higher than he would like. 18. Gets the 20, he's going to sell.
Madrigal lays down a bunt, and it's fouled for strike 1. And a week after ESPN featured Nancy Faust and Nana Hey Hey Goodbye on SportsCenter, the ceremony for Jesse Hahn included that fateful song, and the crowd sang along, and out he went, and the Sox have taken a 3-2 lead.
It's one too many hooks. He got it out over the plate, and it cost him a 2-run homer and the lead.
0-1 to Madrigal. Bunt to first base. Madrigal steps away from the tag, and what are they going to say? They're going to say he's fine in the baseline, and everybody's safe.
Yeah, he was not in fair territory.
Oh no, Todd Tischner's going to call him out.
He's saying he ran out of the baseline.
I
he was
believe
in
so.
foul territory, but he's saying he ran out of the baseline, and Madrigal can't believe it.
So Tischner waved 4 times, but didn't give the out signal until after the play was over, and Tony La Russa is going to come out to argue this.
So he's in foul territory. He does go on the grass, and that ball hits off his head and bounces to the outfield.
So now with that interference, they're going to send Zach Collins all the way back to first base. Crowd doesn't like it.
Well, they're saying that even if he is out, the sacrifice is accomplished because they're trying to get Madrigal out. Even if he's out, if he gives himself out,
Zach should be at second.
He's at second base.
So Madrigal's out, Collins back to first, and Danny Mendick's the batter. Ball 1. One ball, 1 strike.
Holland had some great years with Kansas City. In 3 straight years, 47, 46, and 32 saves. Then he got hurt, resurrected his career in Colorado, where he saved 41 games. Spent some time in St. Louis and Washington and Arizona before coming back last year to these Royals, and he was very good for them.
Time called.
That real big fastball he used to have is not near what it used to be. However, that overhand curve, which has been his bread and butter for quite some time, he parlayed that to a 3-0 record, a 191 ERA in 28 games last year.
Looked like a hit and run there. Madrigal, Collins was off and running.
Good idea, as Mendick was trying to poke it through the right side because Merrifield was covering.
1-2. That missed. Not by much. 2-2.
Well, Zach has to get a good secondary lead. The reason is that a lot of the curveballs that Holland throws, because it's a big 12-6, hitting straight over the top, a lot of those wind up in the dirt. If one gets away, it'd be pretty nice to see him standing at second base.
Down the right field line, an arching foul. Adam Eaton's 2-run home run has given the Sox a 3-2 lead here in the 8th. Three and 2 for Danny Mendick, whose 10-pitch walk led to the Sox' first run of this ball game. In the dirt, ball 4. Danny flips the card over, and we go into the studio to see what's coming up on White Sox Postgame Live, presented by Subaru. Chuck Harfine, Ozzie Guillen. Lot to talk about. Lot to talk about.
One of the things we're going to talk about is 8 walks in this game. Sox have received 8 walks.
Strike 1 to Leury Garcia. On that rule on Madrigal's play, you're out of the running lane when during the last half of that run to first base, you're outside of the running lane, which, I mean, you have to have both of your feet outside the running lane. And to me, I don't know that you could argue that both of his feet were outside the running lane.
But also you send Collins back to first base, where he's standing on second if he just gives himself up.
That's right. But off the interference, you get the dead ball, and that was properly called if you do believe it's interference. One ball, one strike. Foul. 1 and 2 on Garcia. For Kansas City in the 9th, it's going to be Santana, Soler, and Dozier. So that is not exactly fun at the beach for Liam Hendriks. Chant of "Let's go White Sox."
That was a nice job of staying alive, because he could see that one snapping over the outside corner and just barely got a bat on it. Benintendi's in very shallow in left field, so anything poked that way, Collins not going to be able to score. Unless it just either drops down the line or into left center field.
To first. Santana spins it to second to get one there. Safe the call at first. Collins to third. Mendick out at second. And Luis Roberts going to hit.
Toughest of all the double plays is a 3-6-1, because you've got the pitcher coming over, and he's got to locate the bag and the ball from a shortstop who normally has a very good arm on the return throw. They didn't quite complete it, but it was well handled. Good solid throw by Santana, who's a good first baseman. And on the return throw, Holland caught it. It was just a touch too late.
Oh, what one hit in the gap would do right here.
Not only that, but you got a guy that likes to throw a lot of breaking balls, and Selby's going out there to talk to him about what we're going to do if Leury Garcia takes off and goes to second base.
Garcia talking to Santana over at first. Not likely about strategy.
Oh, but here's the oven mitt. Put it on, son.
Casserole's ready, and so are you to run the bases. First and third, 2 out. Robert takes inside. It was a fastball. .35-year-old Greg Holland, 23-year-old Luis Robert. Luis to second. Merrifield's on it, and that will end the threat for the Sox. A threat that began with the patience of a budding star. Yermin Mercedes took a walk and said, "Come on, guys, come along." And Adam Eaton was a big fan of that. A bullet to right, and a Sox lead by 1 with 3 outs to get. All-star, and he and his wife Christy, before the home opener on Thursday, provided some funding for and provided some FaceTime for a big-time party at La Rabida Children's Hospital. Treats, gifts, video messages for nearly 300 patients, family members, and hospital staff. Brenda Wolf and her staff do such a wonderful job at La Rabida. The Sox have had a partnership there for a long time, and Liam Hendriks and his wife Christy, such giving souls, right into that upon arrival in Chicago.
And Liam comes on looking for his second save and his second opportunity. There you look at the numbers, and it's not going to be easy going right through the heart of this order. The switch hitting Santana, and then a couple of strong right-hand hitters in Soler and Dozier.
Hendriks, strike 1. Defense has changed behind him. Adam Eaton checks in into right field after his pinch hit Tater. Leury Garcia has moved to left. Andrew Vaughn out of the ball game. Tony La Russa plays the left-right matchup and gets a 2-run shot for Eaton as Santana is shocked by a fastball at 97. Ball and a strike from the very demonstrative new White Sox closer Liam Hendriks. And that ball is in the air for center. Robert is back. Robert at the wall. That ball is gone. And Kansas City has tied the ball game on a home run from Santana. Luis played it like he had a shot at it, and it carried out.
That was the surprising part of that. First home run of the year for Santana. He didn't appear to get it all, and it didn't sound like it was going out of the park. But it's a fastball down. Liam probably wanted that fastball up, and our Ford home run replay ties the game at 3.
First pitch, strike 1 to Jorge Soler.
Both of Santana's hits against Hendriks have been home runs, but those two are the only 2 in 16 at bats.
Now the Sox will have Abreu, Moncada, and then Williams coming up in the 9th. The scheduled 3 hitters. Strike 3. Hendriks disposes of Soler, and now Hanser Alberto has grabbed a bat for Kansas City.
Good slider away, and he wipes him out.
Lucky Kansas City has forced the Sox into at least a bottom of the 9th. Remember, in Major League Baseball this year, the runner at second rule in extra innings has continued on from last year. The Mariners have taken a 2-run lead in the 9th against the Twins today.
Go Mariners.
If you are saying, well, what happened to Alex Colomé? He only blew one save last year. Colomé blew a save basically at the same time as the Royals just tied this ball game. So 1-1 on the ground foul, third base side. Kyle Seager hit a 3-run home run in the 9th inning for Seattle. That's a better Mariners team than I think people thought they were going to be nationally.
Wait till they get Lewis back.
Agreed.
I mean, when they start bringing up a couple of their kids and they get Lewis back, they're going to be a pretty decent club.
In the dirt, 2-2 on Hanser Alberto. Royals have 3 left on the bench. The backup catcher Gallagher, Ryan McBroom, and our old pal Gerard Dyson, who is most likely to be used as a pinch runner. Two. Foul of Moncada at third. Well, the Royals only have 3 left in the bullpen. That includes Holland, who is their closer. They've got the lefty Brent and then Zimmer and Hernandez remaining down there. 2-2. One out, one in the Kansas City 9th.
Well, Zach Collins went through all the fingers. Now he's going to find out what he wants, and it looks to be a slider.
Tipped and foul.
Well, he went to a fastball and almost got it by him. Just barely get a piece of it, and then it just harmlessly dropped out of the glove.
Two and two. In the dirt. It'll take a 9th pitch to Alberto, Kansas City pinch hitter. An eventful Sunday at the old Ball Yard today.
It's turning into just that.
Another foul ball. Chuck Swirsky watching the ball game, prepping for the bowl game tonight.
Tell him I said hi.
You could do that. You got a headset?
Hi, Chuck.
Three and two. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That slider on the beach, and 2 down in the 9th.
That was a good at bat by Alberto, but it ends the way Liam Hendriks wants it to end. Slider, nice stop by Collins, and they record the out.
Zach's gotten better at catching.
He's made some major strides in the last couple of years, specifically from last year to this. You realize to get some playing time, he was going to have to shore up the defense.
Clipped foul by Isbell, who singled and scored the Royals' first run in the 5th. Kansas City took the lead in the top of the 8th on a Benintendi RBI single. The Sox took the lead on an Eaton 2-run homer in the home 8th, and now Santana has tied it with a homer in the top of the 9th. It'll be Jose Abreu, Yoan Moncada, and then the 5 spot in Nick Williams, but that could be Jake Lamb or Yasmani Grandal as well off the White Sox bench. You wouldn't figure Tony La Russa would burn the backup catcher. However, in a spot where you have a chance to win the game, you might think about it.
He probably wants to wait and see what it looks like in the inning before he is locked into anything.
A 1-2 first. Check swing. Didn't go. Cleveland won earlier today, so the Indians will come into town at 5-3. They beat the Tigers 5-2. Base hit for Isbell.
Isbell comes in as billed as not a guy with big power, but a guy that puts the bat on the ball. Good contact hitter, tries to hit it where it's pitched. This ball is out away, and he takes it pretty much into center field. And he's got a couple of hits today.
Chuck Swirsky has tweeted a picture of himself in his lair getting ready for the Bulls game. Just if everybody was as optimistic about the world as Chuck Swirsky, we would all be better off. A wonderful man. The radio voice of the Bulls. Michael A. Taylor is the batter as a throw comes on Isbell.
Isbell can also run a little bit, so you've got to watch him carefully at first.
Hendricks needs to tie his shoe.
It's always a good plan.
Get the pant leg back down. Ready to go. Cleveland swept the Tigers, by the way, so the Indians are hot coming in here to Chicago tomorrow. Bullet for a strike, bottom of the zone. Michael A. Taylor was the 4th Royal ever to hit a home run in his first 2 games with the franchise. Whit Merrifield, Clint Hurdle, and Amos Otis. Another throw to first. It's a pretty forceful strike to Michael Taylor, by the way, from Todd Tishner. Watch. Hey.
Just wants to make sure that he got the call right.
Yep. Todd. 0-1. There he goes. The Sox notion was right that Isbell might be going.
Well, he stole 24 bases his first year in the minor leagues and then 12 the next year. So, I mean, it's a situation where you know he's going to run, and Taylor can't believe it. He thinks that Tishner thinks that was a called third. It was a called third expression on a called first.
Spring training for the umpires too. Oh wait, that phrase has been retired for the year. 0-2 from Hendricks to Taylor. It's 1-2. Labor intensive 9th for Liam Hendricks.
About to deliver his 25th pitch. And there's 11 straight games to be played without an off day after the last schedule and then rainout.
Today, 4 with Cleveland, 4 with Boston, 2 with Cleveland. Off day next Thursday. 1-2. There goes Isbell again, and Taylor sends it foul right side. Again, the Sox will have Abreu, Moncada, and Williams in the home ninth. Overcast day at the ballpark.
Started out actually bright sunshine.
Did. So did you.
I was very sunny, especially after the Sox took the lead 1-0 in the fourth, only to see it disappear in the fifth.
You can turn a riff into a recap with the best of them, honestly.
And then you ask, after Kansas City took the lead, Sox retook it, Kansas City retied it, and that's where we stand at 3-3.
So you're partly sunny right now.
Very sunny. Be a lot better with a run in the bottom of the ninth.
Sounds good. 1-2 coming. Taylor takes it in the dirt. Isbell jockeyed off the bag and didn't go anywhere.
But that was a wonderful stop by Zach Collins. This is really a tough ball to handle. Watch what he does. It's a spiked slider. He goes out, slides on his shin guard to his right, and then scrambles to get the ball before Isbell can take off. You got to figure Isbell's running here because they're going to anticipate this slider.
He's not. Check swing. Oh, he didn't go. Wow. I thought at the naked eye that he did.
Watch it again. We'll take a look from the side. This is Chad Whitson's view. Looked like he checked it up.
I agree.
But I'm kind of happy that Isbell decided not to run, because you figure the pitcher is going to throw a wipeout slider. He wants to end the at bat, and many of those wind up in the dirt. So going 2 previous times did not lead to him going there.
3-2. He will now. Taylor hits it in the air to right field. Adam Eaton squeezes the final out of an arduous 9th inning, but the Sox can finish the deal in the 9th. Jose Abreu, Yoan Moncada. Walk-off last year. Can the Sox do it this year? We'll find out together. Tied at 3. Will that change next? Trying to get over 500, and it's Jose Abreu, Yoan Moncada, and Nick Williams, the scheduled 3 against Greg Holland, who's going to try to give Mike Matheny 2 innings here today. Their closer, who had to come in and scramble and maintain a 3-2 deficit to allow Santana to homer, and now the MVP chant. Missed it in.
Jose has an open right side to hit it through. Got Santana, who is way off the line, almost playing like a short second baseman. Got Merrifield on the grass. He's up the middle, but on the third base side of second. So not a lot of people home if you hit it toward Jim Reynolds, who's the second base umpire.
Jose takes down. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, his thought right here is not a base hit to right field. His thought is getting one middle in and hitting it out and ending this game.
He wanted to, tied him up with a fastball in. Well, today is the 21st anniversary of Paul Konerko's inside the park home run. Take one of those.
He's not still running, is he?
Barely. 3 balls and a strike to the reigning AL MVP.
2-0. He got an inside fastball. Another great hitter's pitch. Is Jose having an animated conversation with Salvi Perez behind the plate.
Longtime opponents, those two. 3-1 is up on a slider, and Jose walks to lead off the 9th.
And there is the winning run. Bullpen up and going.
Like Brenson Zimmer. They only have 3 left down there.
And only one left-hander. He was up earlier in this game.
Jose at first. Winning run over there. Yoan Moncada, the batter. He grounds it foul, strike 1. Remember, in the 10th inning, each team would begin with a runner at second base and nobody out. And the runner at second would be the person who made the final out of the last inning. That would be Michael Taylor for Kansas City with some good speed.
So it's better to end this with a runner at first and nobody out. Not worry about their at bat.
Sounds like a plan. Yoan to second base. Merrifield and Lopez, and the Royals have turned 2.
This ball got inside a bit, and then it's easy after that. Lopez, who's a second baseman by trade, with Mondesi out, he's taken over at short, and turns out to be a nice turn.
Two down for Nick Williams, who pinch ran for Yermin Mercedes after Mercedes' leadoff walk in the 8th inning. Now Williams has some pop. He hit 17 home runs in the big leagues 3 years ago. He takes strike 1. Called on the corner, even though it was a bit outside.
Looks like Garrett Crochet throwing in the bullpen.
Curveball 1-1. Sox have used so far Kopech, Bummer, Hoyer, and Hendricks. That leaves Crochet, Marshall, Foster, and Ruiz in the Sox pen. Williams to left on a line for Benintendi, and we are going to play extra innings for the first time this year in White Sox baseball. Presented by Bob Locurcio Auto Group. It's been a long and winding road today. Leury Garcia in the 4th inning with 2 outs, stroked an RBI double down the left field line. Joe McEwing the wave around for the Sox first run. That was Madrigal, but then Whit Merrifield tied the game at 1 in the 5th inning, and little did we know we had not seen much of the drama at all.
Some heroics on a curveball down. All was beautiful. Sox lead 3-2, only to see Santana come up.
And his home run in the 9th inning, just over the wall in center by a couple of rows, tied the game. And now Kansas City in the 10th inning will start with a runner at second base and nobody out.
And you got to figure that Lopez is going to be bunting. So the question is here, with decent speed at second base, you tell Crochet to go and get anything, forcing Moncada then to cover at third, or is he going to be charging?
Slender young left-hander Garrett Crochet comes home, and Lopez bunts it. Collins from behind the plate gets the out at first base. So the Sox do get the out. There is the bunt. Taylor to third, and 1 away.
He makes a good bunt, and nobody can deal with this, leaving Zach Collins with only 1 play. And he's out far enough to get an angle for the throw. It's a good one. And it goes to Madrigal.
So now Merrifield the batter. Benintendi is next. Infield in for the Sox. And do you think about intentionally walking him?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
I mean, that was part of the game plan when I looked at this inning. You're going to see Lopez bunt. If he's successful, then you're not going to pitch to Merrifield, and you're going to set it up with Benintendi.
Question is, though, now if you're Kansas City against Crochet, do you want Merrifield to run? Do you think about running him here?
I think what you try to do is force a move out of him. In other words, Rusty Kuntz is telling Merrifield, see if you can get him to try to pick you up. Let's see what his best move is to first.
First pitch bunted back to the mound. Crochet's coming home, and it's a bouncer. And Kansas City has taken the lead. Garrett Crochet just threw a grenade to home. He rushed the throw, and Taylor scores the lead run for Kansas City.
Well, we've seen it all year. We've seen some very bad fielding by pitchers. And this one falls into that category because it's bunted hard enough. You got him at the plate, but not if you throw a lawn dart. It's a fielder's choice, E1. Now, if this hits the grass, actually Collins might have a chance to catch it, but hitting just past the grass on the dirt, no chance at all.
Now for Garrett Crochet, you got to recalibrate and take care of these next two batters or get a double play from Salvador Perez, because the Sox will have a runner at second to start the bottom of the 10th inning. It'll be Eaton, Collins, and Madrigal, and you would imagine the Royals would turn to Brents, the left-hander. Strike one on a change from Crochet. With two lefties in a row, you'd figure it would be Brents out of the bullpen for the 10th.
And you start with Williams at second base.
Now we're going to have a meeting at the mound. Ethan Katz is coming out of the dugout.
Well, one of the things he's going to tell him about is you better keep your eye on Merrifield at second base, because not the fastest man around, but he is fast enough and a good enough base runner to swipe a base if you neglect him at all. Get out of here with just one, considered a job well done.
Way upstairs on a fastball. Ball and a strike. Santana next, Soler to follow. Two and one. Tomorrow the Sox are going to welcome in the first place Cleveland Indians, who won today. Minnesota lost, so Cleveland goes to 5-3, and when they arrive here tonight, the Indians will be in first place. Two one. That's in. It's 3 balls and a strike. Santana next. Three and two.
Merrifield was jumping around at second base, looking like he was going to take off if Garrett didn't pay much attention to him.
Three and two. Runners go, and there's a foul ball down the right field line. Merrifield peeled away for third.
Yeah, you could tell last lead he was using the feeling out process to see what Crochet would do. When they didn't hold him close, he took off. It was not going to be a double steal. He just took off on his own, and the trailer, in this case Benintendi, just stayed at first.
3-2, 1 out. Foul again, right-hand side. Salvi pops himself in the helmet once. Three and two from Crochet. He struck him out. Now the runners steal. It's a changeup for Crochet for strike three. And Merrifield and Benintendi have a double steal.
Well, this takes the force out of the equation, but Garrett was so locked in on making this pitch that he didn't pay attention to Merrifield. This is a great changeup, but it cost him 90 feet twice.
So now you pick your poison. You have Santana at the plate. He's the guy who homered to tie the game. You could decide to walk him and allow Crochet to face Soler. It's your choice. And there's strike one on a changeup.
And the reason why I don't think that Tony would do that is you don't want to put any added pressure on a guy that's just feeling his way in the major league. So you want to give him the exit ramp by having first base open. Then try to get Santana out of the strike zone, which is something that's difficult to do because he's got a very good eye.
Merrifield was racing down the line at third as Santana pops it up. Foul ground. Collins makes the catch, and the inning's over. So the Sox will start the bottom of the 10th with the tying run at second base, and we'll see how they play it with Eaton leading off. Eaton's going to lead off here in the 10th inning, and in the 8th, the Sox were down 2-1, and this curveball he yanked down the right field line for a then 3-2 lead. What will he do here against, surprisingly enough, a right-hander out of the bullpen for Kansas City with two lefties on the way?
Well, Zimmer, who had a really good outing in the first game of this series, comes into this one. He threw an inning and 2/3 and didn't give up anything. Struck out one. There you look at the numbers so far. They're pretty impressive.
So Nick Williams will start at second base, and Williams is the tying run at this point. We'll see what the Sox decide to do. How would you play this here?
I would let Eaton, who normally is a pull hitter, try to pull the ball and hope he pulls it in the hole. But even if you pull it, and the Royals think he's going to bunt. They got the corners in on the grass. Alberto at third, Santana at first. They're both in at the cut of the grass, both looking for the bunt.
Eaton swinging away, and he fouls it away. I like that.
I figured that he would be swinging, and we'll see what Tony has in mind. But normally he will pull the ball, although he was a little tardy on that high fastball.
One strike on Adam Eaton.
And the big advantage with them in at the corners is no angles for ground balls.
Now Eaton shows bunt and takes inside. So as the pitch is coming, Lopez is backing off from the second base bag. He was playing in and close to the bag, and he was backing closer to shortstop. Will he show bunt and slash? What will he do with the tying run at second base? Two balls and a strike on Eaton. If you do bunt, you're banking on contact from Zach Collins next. Zach has hit a couple of fly balls to center today. Bunt back of the plate. It's foul. That's a foul ball. It's 2-2. Tony La Russa and Mike Matheny, the two managers in this game. Matheny played for La Russa, replaced him after Tony's retirement in St. Louis as the skipper of the Cardinals in 2012. They have a father-son-like relationship, according to Tony La Russa. One's going to have to win this afternoon, turning into evening. 2-2 for Eaton. Adam takes downstairs. It's 3-2. What does he go with on the payoff?
I'm pretty sure he's going to throw a sinker.
Williams at second. 3-2 for Eaton. Called strike three, top of the zone breaking ball, and it was there.
He didn't go to the sinker. He went to the high hook. And that ball had a good portion of the plate. It's a spike curve. You tuck the index finger, try to get more rotation on it, and I think Adam just got outguessed.
Late break got it into the zone. And here is Zach Collins. Williams at second, one out. Strike called, fastball. The Royals have scored a run in the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. Sox got 2 in the 8th and need at least 1 here in the 10th. One ball, one strike. Sixth reliever deployed today by Kansas City, Kyle Zimmer. That misses up high, 2-1.
Perez tried to do the best job he could of just taking that ball and easing it into the zone, but Todd Tichenor said nope, it was up and out of the zone. That's very quick hands by Perez.
Respective tying run, Nick Williams at second. That's a strike, a slider on the edge, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Zimmer to Collins. Way outside, 3-2.
Tried to turn over that sinker, but missed wide.
Nick Madrigal next. Danny Mendick to follow. Three and two to Collins from Zimmer. Here we go. He struck him out. Borderline pitch, might have been a strike. It's strike three, 2 down.
This looked like some sort of soft slider. Really didn't do a great deal. Actually, it backed up, and sometimes that's the most effective.
So now it's up to Nick Madrigal. 2 out, runner at second. Last chance to dance for the Sox here in the 10th. Strike one, top of the zone. Couple of strikeouts for Zimmer in the 10th inning on 3-2 pitches. 0-1 to Madrigal. To shortstop. Nicky Lopez ends the game, and Kansas City breaks the Sox streak against left-handed pitching and salvages a split in extras today. 4-3 your final score for the Royals.
You don't see the bullpen be touched up that much for the Sox, and yet that's exactly what Kansas City did. They scored late, they kept on scoring, and at the end their bullpen was just a little bit better. So Cleveland comes to town. Can't really dwell on this one. It's over, and I will see you mañana.
I will see you Tuesday. Len Casper is in tomorrow.
Oh, I won't see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday. Giolito Bieber. You want to do the Volkswagen upcoming schedule?
Yeah, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule presented by Volkswagen. Kansas City leaves. Cleveland comes to town. And after the Tribe for 4, go to Boston and Cleveland for 2. And then the Texas Rangers are coming to town after that.
Tough loss today.
Yep.
Go back and get them tomorrow. All right, for our entire crew, for our producer Chris Withers, our director Andrew Blaustein, our associate producer Chris Kamka, everybody in the truck, for Joe Grube, our stage manager, he's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. Farewell. 4-3 Kansas City wins. Chuck, Ozzie, take it.